Welcome back, everyone, to episode 88 of Unravel. Today, we're not playing desert music. I am playing... There we go. Today, we're going to pick it up where the party left off last. However, before that last session, you guys attempted to revive Bree. Sadly failed. Managed to grab most of the treasure that was part of the Mummy Lord's tomb.
Unfortunately, Sky left as well, so yeah.
You began your travel back from the pyramid to Aurelia, where on the way there, Zero got a message from Nestrin informing you that the orcs were asking you what happened with the orcs. The following day, George sent a message back asking what exactly was happening, and Nestrin explained that the orcs that were situated in Camp Moria, last you knew, are currently at Eleanor's gates.
Who would have thought?
You traveled back to Aurelia, eventually discussing with the Sphinxes the possibility of you leaving with Kieran, who is unpetrified now, to go and deal with the issue of the debt that the Iron Syndicate is trying to collect on Chera. You needed a way to get back to the eastern side of the continent. And as you guys were getting somebody who could cast a teleportation circle, because Bree was no longer with you, Bess informed you that he was not going to be traveling with you and would remain in Aurelia with the purposes of hiding away from his dragon in that location. But offering himself up that whenever you would need his help, you could always go call on him. You debated where to go. Looking at the teleportation circles that are at your disposal, Eleanor seemed the closest one. The other ones all much further away. But regardless of the travel you would have to take, either through the Wildlands, through the Genova to Coppermunda, or to Eleanor first, apparently there were orcs in the way.
Aww.
You then chose to teleport, with permission of Nestrin, to his tower in Eleanor, where you will be arriving shortly. Before that, however, we have a large sum of loot that we identified last session. There's one item that you guys didn't identify last session, but it was part of the same group. It was an item you had found on the upper half of a kobold's body that you found on the inside of a purple worm. So, this is all your loot. I also put everything that's Bree's down there with you. I can also tell you how much gold Bree has, if that is of interest to you.
Oh, right.
She had a sum of somewhere near 3,500 gold, so...
Jesus Christ.
That's a lot.
Wait, 3,500 gold?
I can check. That's the total, like, including platinum and everything. But it was something like that, yeah.
Well,
14.
George would suggest any gold Bree had goes into the party.
Yeah. Fair.
I suggest.
I agree.
No.
You guys want to put Bree's stuff in the party funds?
Well, first of all, if I can, I would like to personally attune 2 items, if I may, from the party.
We can, by the way, assume that this is done in the day that you guys spent in Aurelia, where all these items were identified, but you weren't doing anything.
I'd like to attune the robes of uncomfortableness with the sand.
Sure.
And the wrappings.
That's fine by me.
The Dust Maiden and the
Fully attuned.
wraps of the Restless.
Yeah, the robes of uncomfortableness. The sand. So if that's all right now, I'll take those.
Is already to me.
Nobody seems to be objecting.
I don't care.
I think it's absolutely fine. The only thing I was interested in was the leg thingies from the Kiri.
Yeah, those.
The Titan Cricket Greaves.
Crickets.
I do have to
Kiri, or whatever they call it.
de-attune from the Belt of the Blink Dog, so...
It just, by the way, the Belt of Blink, I realized, is not attunement. It doesn't say it on the item.
You said it was.
Yeah, it doesn't. I checked it because you mentioned it yesterday. I didn't post it originally on Magical Merchandise as attunement. the card says it's not attunement, and it doesn't use any of your stat. It doesn't use your proficiency bonus. It doesn't use your constitution score or whatever like that. It's just an item with charges.
Oh, okay.
So it's a non-attunement item. It has no reason to be attunement.
God damn it.
What do you need? I'll get it.
The other stift.
Okay.
The other stift.
Then I an attune from the Ring of Swimming, and if anyone wants to attune to that,
I can swim.
Actually, you can't.
Maybe you can sell.
I mean it's useful to have.
Everything you have, you don't use. Yeah, but no.
Also, I'm not really using the Bell of the Blink Dog, so anyone can use that.
I want to have it, and I'll sell it.
No. Are you gonna use it?
I'm gonna use it.
Then you can. Swimming I'll keep. Unless someone wants it. My arm was attunement, right?
No, it's not. It's not attunement.
So what is it?
Let me check the items you got.
I don't think, except for these, I don't think I have any. Yeah, the Ring of Swimming, but I don't think I
No,
have.
it says that your arm is attunement. Does the card say that your arm is attunement?
No.
Then I don't see a reason that can I see? Because I think also that doesn't use anything of yours. It's just attached.
I have.
I mean,
missing
it can
any
even
of the
fall
items
off.
then.
I mean, it's. I can only use it, so it makes sense.
It would suck if you to function you would need to offer up an attunement slide.
Yeah,
That
but
and
it is a
you- doesn't-
special arm.
Sure, but it does. So it's also an arm that can like it's not a part of you. Like it can still fall off in anti-magic fields and stuff like that.
That's true.
So no, it's not attunement. So the only thing that was attunement that you had on you was
the Ring of Swimming.
the Ring of Swimming, which is now no longer in use.
I mean, if that's the only thing, I'll keep attuned to it, I suppose.
Sure.
I'll attune to these two.
Yeah, my bad. I think I may have misled you on that part.
For the platinum and the gold, we can just completely split it on the four of us, which is 117 platinum.
117 platinum?
Wait,
Yes.
does Bess get something, or do we just give everything to us?
We have not discussed that, so Bless has left.
Bess has sufficient funds.
Alright.
Pretty sure she did take something. She took a pretty powerful staff, right?
He did.
She took an okay staff. She took an okay staff. How much platinum?
Well, whatever. 117 per person. And gold. Everybody's ready.
No platinum in the party funds?
No platinum in party funds. The party funds with Breeze editions and 12,000 silver will be pretty stacked.
Okay. By the way, before we add any money, I have your gold here. It's a little wonky because I think you bought something, but I had it as a positive here. You bought something for 400 gold from Thorben, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had that as positive.
My gold is now 1465.
And I have my phone on me. You say 1460? That's before adding anything, right?
That's what I already took off the Thorben purchase from here.
Let's see, I have, if I add these things together that I hadn't done yet, I get to 1863 minus the 400 you bought
No, 63.
Thorben, 1463.
63 then. 65.
Yeah, okay. And now we can add money and I'll be up to date.
What was the gold?
1,572 gold per person. Yep. There's a remainder of 3 gold pieces. I assume we.
Sorry,
You
what
guys
was
have
the
3
gold?
gold in it.
1572.
For this power.
1572.
I also send it in the.
What's the amount of copper and silver for the party punch?
Party puns.
Yeah, the party
The
punch.
party fund is going to get 12,143 silver.
Okay.
Yep.
So nobody gets any silver?
My suggestion is we just put it all on.
I'm fine with that suggestion.
Yeah.
And the copper is 3,510. And we'll probably exchange this wherever we can to get a more even number in gold or something. I don't know.
Thank you.
Alright.
And also
And I know that. Because I need to keep track of party fence.
And then I guess if we put Breeze on the party fence.
Yeah.
Exactly.
How much do we have in the party fence then?
Hmm?
How much would we have in the party fence then?
At least 4,000 gold. Probably more.
How much did we need to? We needed to edit like for the. How much did we need for the base?
The base you guys have, but you don't have it on you. 7,000 gold to your disposal, but that's something we're still working on.
We already spent that.
You've already spent it, and anything that's remaining is currently at your keep. But we haven't, or at your guild house tavern thing. We haven't worked on that yet.
Yeah.
But you have 7,000 for renovations there
Anyways,
initially.
Elcasters, any of you want this scroll?
Was it? Okay.
The
know
Mobius
the
scroll,
spells
not the
now?
Mobius.
I don't really
Yes,
do
it
anything.
should say the spells on the item.
I don't do anything with spell rules.
Well, the thing is, this spell scroll is reusable, right?
Well, this one is tiny as fuck, so let me just...
It is, I think.
It has slow and as extra spell road trick. Then second is cold lightning with extra spell bane. The third is hypnotic pattern with extra spell bless. The fourth is spirit guardians with extra spell disguise self. The fifth is dimensional with extra spell magic missile. The sixth is fireball with extra spell invisibility. The seventh is ice storm with extra spell flaming sphere. And the eighth is haste with extra spell pass without a trace.
It's a relatively complicated item where every day at the start of the day you roll on that table to see what spell the scroll gets. The scroll can hold up to 3 items at a time. And every day that you have 3 scrolls on the item, you roll again, and then you can choose to replace one. But those 3 spells will be just, you can cast those spells as if they were from your spell list, and you have a spell scroll for them, or you have basically giving you slightly more spells to use every day.
Yeah, so any of the spellcasters really desperately wants it?
No.
Imagine it's attunement.
Yes, it is. Then I'll take it.
You cannot cast any spell that's higher than 3rd level though, at the moment. Without a check. You can make them with a check.
I don't care.
Okay.
I'll make that check. I have a good indeed.
Do you want the field healer's ball run?
Also, I have like 2 attunement slots left, so
Otherwise, I want it.
This ball versus phase good now. The ball has 10 charge.
At the folding boat, right?
You roll a 1 or 2 on a die and restore hit points to it.
I think I had that in my bag.
You spend a charge to reroll the die. Unless
I also had these in my bag. I picked up
I
the
haven't
replica.
said anybody has anything. You guys can choose how you want to distribute that. That's the whole thing.
I mean, either one of us should wear this, yes.
Yeah.
Better combat spells. Than
I'm not sure.
Do you want it?
Should we just?
I mean, I don't mind. If you really want it, you can take it.
No.
which are they?
If you use,
Wrappings
if
of
you
the
heal more
abandoned.
often,
One thing at a
then
time,
you do
please.
it.
Let's check.
Blind
It's all the
Mage
same.
never heal.
No, you do, but I think we heal equally.
Oh, by the way.
Well, you should heal less, do more fireballs.
Okay.
Is there anything that helps you with fireball?
No.
The Mobius scroll would have given you more spell scrolls or spell slots for fireball.
I know it helps you with more fireball.
Those 2.
Yeah, fair enough, fair enough.
Take this one as well.
Thank you.
Yeah.
These I do use.
You can have a 3rd. Oh. Should have a 3rd one, I say.
This
There's
is
also a
first
4th
level.
level one there.
Yeah.
That's Breeze.
Yeah.
But you can take it.
Bree is no longer with us.
I definitely don't need the 1st level. So that's more of a 0 thing.
You want it?
What are your 5th level spells like? Do you have heal as well? Do you have mass healing word?
Let's see.
Yes.
And Cone of Fire, I think.
I would say
So
everyone
really
gets
good
one of these.
Yeah.
I have Immolation, Mass Cure Wounds, Gun of Fire, and Cinder Step.
Your 4th level spells?
Wall of Fire.
And this one's for
Oh,
you.
that's. I also have Wall of Fire. So your
Everyone
4th
gets
level
one of
spells
those.
are not great either.
No. But I always use my 4th level spells for something else. Fireball or...
Same.
The 4th level is pretty useful for you, right?
I don't.
But I do the same.
I use it to upgrade the other spells.
What is Wrappings of the Abandoned and
They are consumable. Some of the items are consumable. It says in the next to the rarity of the item.
So the flying carpet, are we gonna keep that in the portable hole?
Portable hole, I don't think you can keep it in there, right?
Yep.
Was it
Portable hole's 10 feet deep. This thing's like 5 by 6.
Oh, okay.
You can almost lay it down flat.
You can also roll it up.
Yes. The size of the carpet is similar to the one we have here, so you have an idea of how big it is.
So we can fly to stuff. How many people can-
Yeah, I had a question, because for the safeguard schematic,
Yeah.
I can't use any of these weapons, right? Because I need to use a piece of steel from a weapon of a defeated enemy, and
Enemy.
we have like a Goblin Fury sword.
I mean, if you're willing to destroy the magic item, I'll allow it.
Can we destroy the magic item? Is the question.
I'll say you can.
Okay.
I mean, it's there. You can pick up any sword from any enemy you've ever fought, but you can destroy one of those magic items if you want to instead. Sure, I'm not going to stop you there.
You can use this as.
Does anybody want these Wrappings
Yes.
of the Abandoned?
There's
We
4
all
of
have.
them.
We split them.
Well, we all have.
Yeah, we all have one.
There's 4 of them, but they are only one use.
That's why I was like,
Not that much. I
let's
mean,
everyone, let's just all have one.
You can still do stuff. I checked. You can still do stuff, right?
Yeah,
You
no,
have that on you.
you're no the Raptors of the Bandit just give you a fuck ton of temporary hit points.
Yeah, and that's
So
it,
it's
right?
basically like if you don't have any like heals or anything that you can bring, and you're like very close to dying, you can slap this on someone, which will give them a fuck ton of temporary hit points. Then they can't heal their normal hit points,
until the
and if-
wrappings are gone.
and if they are reduced past the wrappings and instantly brought to 0, they're instantly killed.
Yeah.
But if the temporary hit points are destroyed and the person isn't brought to 0, then you're just back to a very low health pool. And then because you're wrapped in bandages, you are vulnerable to fire damage. So
I mean,
What other
I
body
can
do we have in portable?
eventually attune to this,
Yeah, that's what I said.
but I will never use it
Does
nonetheless.
my body end?
I mean,
But
none
I
of
will
us
have
can
it
use
for
it.
now, just because I want to have it.
I forgot.
Bree had some good stuff. I always forget that.
What did you have?
she never used it.
She has some really
Okay.
good stuff.
Can I see?
Hey, this is good for you.
Light amplifying glasses. Wow!
Useful.
Useful!
No, but like, this is pretty good. That's pretty good.
What did I have?
Yeah, I was gonna ask. Does anyone want the Goblin Fury sword? Is that
Short sword?
Short
Sword?
sword.
I mean, I would have it for the same reason I have the Crimson Fate and Vicious Rapier.
To sell.
Just no one else wants them, and I'm like, I'll sell them. Or I give them to someone who can use them.
I don't even
Then I'm
think I
gonna
can wear.
Destroy it to make my item.
Do it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Roll of shelter.
Sure, I'll have this burn.
I think that's like a portable hole kind of thing.
No, the shelter thing is where when you guys have to put your horses away.
I know.
It's not a portable hole.
No, it's a thing.
Oh, it goes
you
into
do
the
in a
portable
portable hole.
Sure.
Oh,
The flying carpet will need somebody to bind with it. But actually, it's just
I'm
bound with it.
I'm
yeah.
bound to it
Yeah.
right now.
Well, you can be bound to it any time, but I just store it in a portable hole. That would be easy.
Yeah, no, but I was bound to it already.
Do you want to have it, or do you want?
I was gonna give it to 0.
Carpet's just a little bit too big to just walk around with all the time.
I did walk around with
Zira
it.
has
For-
a
Doesn't
bag-
fit in the bag holding. It's too
Oh,
big
okay,
for that.
so
Bag holding
it's-
has dimensions, and I'm pretty sure 7 feet is too big.
Do you wanna?
I mean,
Carpet.
I roll it up, and I
Yeah, no,
stuff it in there.
It's not that like the carpet. If you roll up, is that big, by like that big.
Yeah, it is really big.
It's a
I
full
was-
like the carpet that we have here in the living room.
Yeah.
It's a full-on carpet.
I was holding it like this the entire time we were
Yes, that's
walking
how you
back.
walk back to it.
I mean-
Really. I mean, it's
You can
probably
have it.
easier
It's
to do
just
it
in
like
the
that.
portable
Yeah.
hole.
Yeah, I'll have the cards.
Horn of silent alarm. This horn has 4 charge. Oh my god.
These
It's
again.
action to lower your.
Those may be interesting for you.
Can hear the
I think they're only interesting for you at the moment.
Right.
At the moment, yeah.
There's
Or
two
maybe
of those.
George.
Sure, George.
Does someone want the horn of silent alarm?
Let's see.
Yeah, we have 2 of these, so I'll take one of them. At least. Unless someone else wants both. Who's that? The other thing is in the crystal, right?
No, the other thing is not the things in the crystal you haven't identified. The other thing, the thing that lays there, is that when you were searching inside the purple worm, you found half a body of a blue kobold. It was holding a crossbow, a destroyed crossbow that had this on it. Some type of attachment to a crossbow.
Door knocker?
It's just useful to have.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's like not person specific, perhaps.
Someone want to duplicate boots?
Yeah,
Get like a mirror image, but
yeah, it would be most useful for you.
Yeah.
Just cost a bonus action to initiate, so that would be
That is
rage.
true.
That, but you could also keep it for when you don't have rages anymore.
can I put this on my arm?
It functions as a crossbow, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Pretty sure like it can deal extra lightning damage or whatever.
Yeah, as a bonus action, you can crack the mechanism
Oh,
which causes an
kinky.
electrical charge.
Does anyone need half plate?
The only people here that can wear half blades are Utsul and Zira.
Yeah, but for me it's not
For
very.
you, it's bad.
No, it's medium armor.
I have a change.
It would not. Yeah, it
Still
would
bad.
suck for your stealth, but it wouldn't change
But
anything
stuff,
aside from that.
your movement would go incredibly low as well.
No, it's medium armor. Only heavy armor affects barbarian, but she's not even proficient with heavy armor.
Not proficient with heavy armor.
With the half blade she could wear and not be affected, except for the fact that
The only-
stealth is a disadvantage.
The
and
only. Yeah, I do have a plus
in your
6 in
AC,
stealth.
whatever your AC is right now, may go down depending on your dexterity.
Yeah, it might.
What's your AC right now?
17.
Would change anything? Except for you get the benefits from the thing and you have disadvantage on stealth.
Yeah, but I already get the benefits from the other armor.
You wear armor?
The Dust Maiden.
That's clothing, that's not armor.
No, but I also because what does that do? Being armor.
Armor.
You can deal fire damage as a reaction. I
Yeah.
think.
Oh,
You
yeah,
can
that-
deal a
that-
little AoE spurt. That's exciting.
So like give you advantage to be in cold terrain.
I think so.
Yeah.
Who
Yeah,
wants to
then
have
this
a
does
whip?
that well as
Yeah,
well.
okay.
Whip.
Whip.
Use it for kinky reasons.
Yeah, so Zara.
You're an adult now.
Not for long.
And I also have the net of estranglement. Maybe that's useful for you.
Entanglement.
Stranglement. Goddamn.
That would be useful.
I mean, this is the whip of engagement, so if you whip someone, you're automatically engaged with that person.
Oh shit.
Ooh. That's maybe useful. Do you have any more attunements?
I have.
See what it does.
The necklace of the heart, but you have a quite high.
Doesn't it set to 19?
No,
No,
it's not the
it's
necklace
just
of
hit
health.
points.
It's not the amulet
Oh,
of
it's
health.
just hit points.
Just extra hit points.
Not many though.
Depending on your constitution score.
I don't think I'll use that.
I would have this for the same reason I have all those other weapons.
For your house.
What's your con score?
16.
This is.
Oh, I have.
But there's also this thing you might want to have. It's really good.
Anyways.
It might be fucking cursed though. Who knows?
Which item?
The scarab.
Love being cursed.
Oh right.
Which one?
So the scarab is where you can just have advantage on saving throws against spells.
Oh,
So,
love
what
that.
the lucky rabbit's foot.
And charges to automatically succeed
do?
on.
You get a luck
spells,
point?
necromancy spells.
I do love that.
It's like actual luck points or...
Well, this item
Yeah.
is on your person. You get 2 luck points. And if you make an attack roll, ability check, or saving throw, you may spend 1 luck point to roll an additional d20.
Is it
It's an item.
attunement?
It is attunement.
That's with many of these items, I think.
I mean, in
That is pretty-
like 2 more levels, I'll have an extra attunement slot.
Otherwise, I'll take it. Because
You take it.
I have an attunement slot.
Yeah,
Did you
take it.
remember what I rolled?
Yeah, you roll for your hit
I
points.
mean, what
Yeah.
more temporary hit points?
So that's
Also attunement.
6 extra, I think.
It's also really good.
yes.
Oh no, you have 20 constitution.
But I
right?
think I have enough
Yeah.
hit points.
So
now,
it's
I'm not
7.
Yeah,
sure.
but you know,
Compared to your previous
you're
level.
even more.
Yeah, but I'm
Still
already the
And
highest
these
in
are
the party.
temporary.
That's true.
That's,
So those go away first.
actually, that's really good on you.
Yeah, you take it.
That's like double.
Yeah, that's
You're
double the
20
temporary hit points.
cons, so you're like 40 hit points.
Can't use this. God damn it.
What zero can use that?
Then you can unattune from the Ring of Swimming.
Yeah, but I can either use this one or this one.
Yeah, I mean those are some like uncommon items that are just like they're nice little slice of life thingies, but they
I
are
mean, this
attunement.
is very handy.
I mean, could you make these that I can also see better, or is that
Sure, I'll modify the light amplifying glasses so they also are, you know, with prescription so you can properly see.
Night vision goggles with prescription.
yeah? Well,
Is one better or 2 better?
I was already gonna make you glasses, so
but
I'll just
now there are
yes.
already.
yeah, I'll make them prescription for you.
They are though like these like this thick leather band with like these nearly opaque white crystals in them, so they look kind of derpy. They're not like glasses like you're wearing right now. It's just for aesthetic reasons. I want you to know if you're walking around with that all the time, that's what I'm gonna
No, these are
imagine.
the light amplifying, so she will only wear these when it's dark, and she will mind regular glasses when it's not dark.
Yeah.
Just have
Which I'm
one
gonna
pair
make
of
for
glasses
you,
on your
because
head and
Angie's
the other
blind
on your
as
face.
fuck.
Just switch them around.
No, I'm
Anyways,
not.
this Horn of Silent Alarm is very handy, but isn't person specific to need, so I would say we'll just keep it in the portable hole, and if we ever need it, then we have it.
I mean, the same for the Ring of Swimming, I suppose. Or is it-
Anything anybody isn't using, just put it out in the middle.
Anyways, this might indeed be cursed, but I want it, so I'll take this scarab.
If no one else wants the dragon skill, I'll take
I
it.
have not looked at it, so...
You want to read?
I've taken
leave
the
it.
net.
I think you have
and-
0
and
use for
tangled, by
it.
the
It
way.
uses weapon attacks.
Yeah, I have 0 use for that.
You want to use it when you
But
stick?
I will.
What is it?
I will have this scarab.
It's not
It
really
might be
useful for
cursed,
you.
but you know, what's a little curse?
Do keep in mind that if you use 12 charges, if you use the last one, there's no way to regain the charges, and if you use the last one, it
I don't-
disintegrates.
A healing
No.
cleric.
Oh, the item just
I just
disappeared.
have so many items that would suggest healing is better.
I mean, I can also take the healing thing.
Staff healing.
No, the.
By the way, I get
the-
20 hit points. 20 temporary
But
hit points. from
also,
this.
how many times do we fight
If
something
you don't want to
with
go, I wanna.
necromancy
It's fine.
No, I'm
spells?
fine with it.
Often.
Those,
Very often.
those
Then you
12
have
will
to
last
do-
for ages.
Gonna be gone by the end of the
And
session.
not just bring people back to
I'll
life.
take it.
No,
Sure.
because
I take
that's
it.
the point of
I will
healing.
have
Only
now
mass,
have
only
my
the
full
5th level
attunement
spell
items.
that's actually good at healing.
But you're not attuned to all 4 of them yet, right?
I will be soon enough.
This is really good.
What is
This
it?
is also really good.
Take it. Take both of them.
I can't.
Why not?
Because if they both require attunement. And I'm not a...
Oh.
I could
What are
multiclass
all the
into
things you
others.
attune to?
It's the robes, which are really good. The wraps of the restless, which are also really good.
Mhm.
It gives me like a reach attack, and like I can grapple from like 20 feet.
And then suck life out of them and heal.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
I can become evil, and this is like 40 temporary hit points extra. That's if I rage.
That's good.
Otherwise, it's 20 temporary hit points, which is still a lot.
Which is still a lot. And the other thing is luck points, which is also really good.
Yes.
I will
that's-
DM.
Yeah.
I think I'll take these.
Switch the staff of healing for the hammer for now.
So you will not be attuned to the hammer.
Yes.
Why not
Only
something fun?
only in the city environments would I switch back.
You are in a city environment,
So I guess I would
to be fair.
keep it in that. But when I get out of the city, I will switch to the staff. I guess that's how I would.
Well, currently you're in Illinois. Do you want to be attuned to the staff or to the...
Yeah, we know
To the
the city
hammer.
is surrounded.
Well, I guess because we're surrounded, I maybe will end in the somewhere in the city.
Wanna learn something fun? With 6 more levels, I can attune to your hammer if I want to.
I don't think you can.
No, I can.
Technically,
She can.
she can
No,
forgo
because
any...
It requires a tune by force.
Yes,
You
Artificer can
Yeah,
ignore that
I
at
can
level 18.
ignore that at
Oh,
level
really?
18.
The level 18 she's worth to pick
So
up
at level
that.
18 I can attune to your hammer and be like, I'm ready! I'll be the Captain America to your Thor.
Can you lift it?
No,
No, I don't think you could.
it's too heavy. But she could use
The
it.
moment I'm attuned to it, suddenly I can.
Because it would resize.
Just to become like a smaller
Yes,
hammer.
if I attune to it, suddenly it's a small hammer.
Hear the Mario damage noise.
Does it have a heavy attack? No, because it's a Mithra.
Oh, then it's not even
Okay.
too heavy, yeah.
But I will attune to this new scroll and let me see.
Everybody figured out their items?
I think so.
I just need
Yes.
the
Any
sword.
item you're not using and planning on selling, put it in the center, then we'll keep them separate.
I mean, I have multiple items here myself that I plan to sell.
Then for the sake of my keeping track of who has what,
Sure.
we'll pile them up.
Wait. I don't think I can wear both of these, can I?
No, you're gonna have to choose. For that, you're gonna have to choose.
What's the other one?
There's both boots. I can't.
Charge and.
Boots with the duplicate.
You don't have 4 feet. If you're a centaur, you could, I guess.
Oh,
Yes.
a sensor can do that.
So who wants the boots of the duplicate?
Is it attunement?
No.
No.
Okay. I don't really care that. Also, my feet probably won't fit in it.
Would
Little
resize, I
resize,
guess.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, otherwise, there's very few items that you have that you could use.
Otherwise, it's good on Angie, probably.
Yeah.
We also work on George to make him even harder to hit.
Yeah.
That is also true.
That is fun. Yes, you take them. Then
Never
if
mind.
they hit you, which is already a small chance.
I would like boots that give me more AC.
You would like anything that gives you more AC.
That's why I
have
never get
prepared
things.
4 items that will be sold by me.
Sure. So,
This is one item that will be sold by.
Anyways, shall I just attune to this scarab?
Really?
I find it a good idea.
Yeah, it's attunement.
George,
Why am I not?
according to, just so I have correctly what you have, and non-consumable items don't count. You have the Amulet of the Protecting Soul, the Reldrak, the Hammer of the Forgeborn,
Yep.
the Circlet of Clear Mind.
Yep.
You have the Clockwork Amulet, the Key of Recollection, and the Staff of Healing.
Yep.
And you're attuned to the staff at the moment.
At the moment, I'm still attuned to the hammer because I have not changed it yet.
Okay, do you have any items that I missed?
I currently have Neo, the Field Healer's Pauldron. I've been given the boost of the duplicate, I guess. The Titan Cricket Greaves.
Is it?
Consumables don't count, right?
Yeah, no, I don't need to know consumables.
I mean, that's it. That's fucked up.
Angie, you have the Amulet of the Arcane Sculptor.
Wait. What?
The Amulet of the Arcane Sculptor. It's one of your attunement items.
Right.
Yes.
You have the Celestial Shard, which is your other attunement item.
Yes.
You have the Bloodwell Vial, which you're also attuned to.
Yes.
Then the Dress of Defense,
Yes.
Portable Hole,
Mm-hmm.
the Staff of the Defender.
Yes.
What else do you have?
Stuff. Portable hole. I have now the amplifying glasses. The. Oh wait. That's not.
Glasses. Yeah, light amplifying glasses.
Yes, the net of entanglement.
Yeah.
The rod of
I
forest
think we have
shelter.
similar amounts.
Yeah.
And good barrels door knocker.
I also have these. I need to
That's
make
not a
some.
magical item. But
No. Oh no.
that's
No.
why I'm not noting them
Never
down in the magic items because that one's not magic.
Yeah. It's a coin.
I need a bag of holding.
Chloe,
These are
Why?
actually-
you are attuned to the ring of swimming or not
because I have
anymore?
a high
Not
AC
anymore.
at least.
Okay, I'm moving that one in that case.
What is the?
Let's see.
I gave the ring of steering. Put it in.
Yeah, in the pool
Not to sell, but to like use
for later use.
Use in a
Okay, what are your attunement items right now?
I am attuned to. Let's see. The Dust Maiden.
Yes.
To the Necklace of the Heart. And
Yes.
that's.
Okay. Then your non-attunement items include, and tell me if I missed something or I have something wrong. The Moonlit Gauntlets,
Can I just list them?
because I have a list. I mean, I can remove these and then we'll just redo your whole list. Sure, go for it.
Barrel of Preserving. Blade of Access. Jewel. Boots of the Charger. Jera's new arm. Jera's arc cannon launcher.
Seconds. Cannon launcher, yeah.
I've got the folding boat.
Goats, yep.
Goblin of Fury short sword.
But that one's not. You're not using that one for anything, right?
No, I'm gonna break it apart. The
Yeah.
hot pot.
Bots.
Cobalt crossbow crank.
Yeah.
Marble bell gauntlets.
Yeah.
The moon touched gauntlets.
Okay, are there more?
Yeah, 2 more.
Okay, then I have to add in.
One more.
I have to add in more rows. You're currently at like 13, 14 magic items.
Yeah.
Okay, how many more?
The Viper Shang I've got.
Per...
I might sell it.
The Viper Shang-
I'll
yeah.
keep it around for now.
You had 2 more items, you said.
No, 1 more. The other one was consumable.
Okay. Okay, gotta clear that. Okay, then Cherry. You have the Helm of Compounding Languages,
Yes, correct.
the Alchemist Bag,
Yes, correct.
and the Mobius Scroll now, right?
Yes, and I will have the scarab. I'm just gonna
You have
do
to
it.
move,
If I'm
otherwise
gonna get
it's
cursed, I'm gonna get
cursed.
cursed.
Which one are you switching out for that?
I can attune to 4 items.
Right now already?
Right now already. At
Oh,
14 I get 5.
Oh, okay. I thought you
No, I-
needed one more.
No, I could attune to 10 at point 4, like last level.
So it's cover protection. Then I have the Bag of Holding, the Messenger Bird, Glove of Blasting, and the One Magic Missile. What other items do you have besides those?
Well, I technically still have the Tome of Organic Reconstruction.
Right.
Technically, I still have that. I have a gold dragon.
Yep.
I have the Ring of True Companionship.
Yep.
That's the Messenger Bird you already mentioned. As Special already mentioned. The Wand of Magic Missile you already mentioned. The Glove you already mentioned. I have now the Belt of the Blink Dog.
1 sec. Okay.
And I will have the Flying Carpet, even though it's in a portable.
Yeah, but I'm gonna add it to your items because you will spend some time to bind it to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I have 4 items that I'm planning to sell.
Yes, I'm gonna get back to it in a second.
Yeah.
And then that's gone. Okay. Then what items do you have that you're planning on selling?
The Crimson Fate.
Yep.
Whip of Engagement.
Yep.
The Vicious Rapier. I'm gonna sell it. I'm gonna sell the Ruby of the Bards, because I'll never use it even if I can attune to it.
Those are breeze items, right?
Some of them, yeah.
One of them, yeah.
Chloe,
2.
any items that you're planning on
Technically,
selling?
the Whip of Engagement was hers. Just
Not
didn't
yet.
use it.
Vera, you have any items? Any items that you are carrying that are to note that you have them? Nothing that you have in portable. Because Zero is planning on selling those, for example. Do you have anything?
I want to sell the Staff of Defender, but nothing else.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
It's
George,
just-
do you have
I
any
don't have
items that
any-
you're not using but that are specifically in your inventory?
Well, no, but I feel like any item that Bree had that we're gonna sell, just a group thing.
Depends on Zero. She has those, but it's up to you guys to make that decision together. And items that are in the bag of holding that you guys are not planning on selling, or in the portable holder you're not planning on selling, is the Ring of Swimming.
Yes.
Any other items?
I mean, I feel like the Lucky Rabbit's foot is good to keep in case we ever want to switch out an attunement item for it, or...
Maybe, but this one definitely is. So
Yeah, the Titanic half plate we can definitely sell.
whatever this thing is.
No, the Horn of Silent Alarm is a handy item to have.
Okay.
Just in case.
The Horn of Silent Alarm is also in. So in the portable hold that nobody has specifically in their inventory is the Ring of Swimming, the Lucky Rabbit's Foot, and the Horn of Silent Alarm.
Yes.
And then what's in there specifically to sell that is everybody's is a tectonic half plate.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you missing any items?
No.
Okay. In that
I
case.
have the knocker also, but
Yeah, but we'll just keep that one.
Well, that-
in
yeah.
case, you know, my block picking doesn't work.
Okay. So
But I'm gonna buy real estate.
in that case, you're holding the portable hole, right?
yeah.
Because these is selling, I'll keep that with me for a little bit so I can figure out, so I know and I can start figuring out how much people would pay for it. That you can keep it separate because it's not readily available in your inventory.
No, but that's the on this pile.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, let me just
Okay.
put you next to the tome flying carpet.
Yeah, and then the attunement items. Angie, you didn't change attunement of anything, right?
No.
Okay.
Flying carpet, you will be right next to the tome, because that's not readily available, and the tome is like, that's a dragon's attached to it. I only have it because I'm the carrier.
Then there's some healing potions that need to be divided somehow. I guess we'll do that.
I'm thinking the big ones are good for Shara.
I thought I had my little toll sheet,
Placed
but it's
in
not here.
Caithness.
Oh. So the big ones go to Chara?
Well, not maybe all of them, but definitely one of them. Two of them.
I'd be happy to have.
The coins are very valuable. You're also very fast, so you can get to people.
Mm-hmm. That's why I have the.
Maybe it's handy if I have like at least a small one.
He also has one.
If I take the small ones, then you two can divide the big
So I
ones.
think Zero takes one of these, and then both of us.
Yeah. I don't tend to use potions often, and when I do it when I'm ready though.
Now what's the
But
next?
that's really
Oh
good.
god! Potion of Hill Giant Strength.
Right.
I'm going to give you a strength of 21. That wouldn't change anything for Chara.
No,
Yes,
it's
I'll take
useless
it.
for me.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
If you're ever stuck in some kind of strength save area of effect, you could take that. And use it.
Exactly.
You do have the
Those are
Scarab
mine.
as well.
Yeah, no, I'm.
Yes,
thought I meant-
yes, that's only for spells. If I ever stuck trying to lift a rock or something off me, then
Does
I have this.
Does anyone want to scroll Confusion?
Let me read it.
It's confusing.
I guess that's what classes can cast the spell.
No idea.
You
doesn't
can.
say?
Only me?
Bard, Druid, Sorcerer, Wizard, Knowledge Domain, Oathbreaker, and Circle of Spores. So you're the only one who can use it.
It's just 3 spell slots. I don't know why you hate them so much.
I don't use them. I lost the other 3.
Well, then Angie
Which
just
ones?
left them somewhere and never picked them up again.
It's
Yeah.
it's one of my favorite spells I have, in case I ever need it.
I use it later.
Right.
And also, I have my very new spell scroll. Love this spell scroll. It looks funky.
Sure, you got so many fucking items.
I know.
Holy shit. Like double. I have it here. It's like George, Vera, you, Cherry.
What?
Cherry has so many fucking items.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm assuming that all the items that I added in your attunement thing that you have that are attunement that are not specifically not in use are currently attuned to you. All the other items that you have there are in your inventory and you can access whenever you need. Without having to like open up a portable hole or whatever.
Yes.
In which case...
You're gonna keep the portable hole items separate, and when we open it, you just throw them out.
Any Vera has them on her, so...
I have
That's
all
true.
I have one of the cards that's technically in a portable, but I
Yeah.
placed it in a way that I know like it's not readily available.
No.
And it's
That and I can tell you that. Whenever you're like, I'm gonna whip this thing out.
I mean, it's a fucking massive carpet, so we need
Yes.
I have my items
What?
well organized.
What is the word that you use to activate the flying
Shazam.
carpet?
It's actually, it would be Mercedian.
You can use your
Run
own word,
Mercedian
I
for
think.
fly or something like that.
Yes.
It's a given word, it's not something she can choose.
Oh, I think you could choose.
It has one, but only the bound person can speak it. They can't choose what the word is.
I thought you could choose it.
I'm just gonna tell everyone it's a word I made up.
Nobody knows.
Yeah, exactly. Just gonna tell I made up that word.
Mercedians.
How many are we gonna see after this?
Well, one. And
The
then
other one.
At least one.
Yeah.
Right.
But he doesn't know.
So you guys distributed all the winnings of both the fight as well as Bree.
Yeah, the winnings.
You teleported, and having notified Nestrin beforehand, struggling a little bit to get Chara to come with you, you eventually do manage to push through the teleportation circle that was created in the throne room of the Sphinxes in Aurelia. You all disappear and find yourselves in a about 20-foot diameter circular chamber with a wooden floor where you can see the rings of a tree kind of like pass through. You see the walls organically grow from the floor. There isn't like a set curve. The light of the teleportation circle you came through kind of dims down very quickly after you make this way through, and there's a small crack beginning to form in the small shape of a doorway.
Let me
that
go!
starts out very thin and slowly widens.
What are you doing?
Panicking.
Oh, my limbs are still attached.
Well, except your arm, but you already lost that one.
Okay. Never know with those portals.
You sound like George talking about haunts.
Or treehouse.
What about a treehouse, indeed?
Yes,
Yeah,
let's
no.
make this about George and not me. I am
feel like we're
fine
saying-
with that.
I'm not fine with that.
Also, sound kind of like Angie whenever she has to
I just
see
need
the
to
portable.
hold someone's hand.
Yeah, you're very brave.
Yes, it's scary.
It's in
You
your
never know
pocket
what's
right
in there.
now.
I know what's in there.
I'm just fucking with
It's
you.
burning. I feel.
I'm just fucking with you.
Squirrels live in seas.
The doorway that was slowly beginning to widen and open, it kind of like morphs as something seems to be moving through it.
Do we see a squirrel quickly
Nope.
move through it?
What
Oh,
steps
shit.
out on the other side is a small, familiar wood boat that kind of pushes itself through as the doorway still continues to open behind it. Kind of stops in front of you. Acknowledges that you're all like there, before then turning around, doing this, and beginning to walk.
I follow immediately.
Follow the leader, leader. Follow the leader.
Follow begrudgingly.
Okay, you walk out from this doorway that is now nicely formed into a doorway into what seems to be a longer hallway. You're led down immediately to the right, and some 30-40 feet after exiting the room, you come to a familiar spiral staircase that goes down into what is a larger lounge kind of area, which is the chamber that you have entered in a few times whenever you came to Nestrin's Tower. This is the lounge chamber that you came into. There, you see two individuals, two familiar ones. You see Nestrin, as well as Xanthe, currently finishing putting on the last pieces of whatever. They're not wearing heavy armor, but they're wearing some pieces of less flowy robes and such, and they are bound with pieces of light armor, and at least making sure that nothing floats too much. Nestrin, who's normally dressed in long robes and very comfortable, is now in a more tight-fitting set of clothing, light padded armor, carrying 2 blades. 3 blades, actually. 2 shorter ones and a longer one. You see Xanthe, who is wearing not any armor, but more fitting clothing. Again, no robes, but pants and a shirt, vest over that. And as a very nicely made high elven blade, which you hadn't seen before, that he's carrying with him as well. They are kind of like checking each other's like belt buckles in the back where they can't normally reach themselves. As they kind of come walking down the stairs, Nestrin kind of turns around and goes, "Ah, good to see that you've made it so far." Kind of like looks around at you a little confused. I recall there being more of you?
Yes.
Big 5.
Was 7.
We're the big 5 still. Always will be.
Only
Got to
4.
find a new person now.
We were even the big 5 without 5. It's just 2 lies. We can still be the big 5.
Feels wrong.
I know. But we're still the big 5.
I'm sorry for whatever happened on your travels, but we have not much time to grieve, I'm afraid. Xanthe and I have been invited at court. Your presence would be most likely appreciated with your more extensive knowledge on the orcs compared to some other not so readily available sources. Kind of like looks behind most of you and kind of like sees Kieran, who's much like doesn't fit in your group at all, much more like a studious nerd kind of individual, and he goes,
Excuse me?
"Yeah, you're much more battle worn than Kieran. Kieran's much more of a nerd.
You're old now.
You're old now."
Not for long.
He kind of like looks past most of you and goes, "That."
Oh, right. That's my mentor I was looking for.
He goes, "Hi, I didn't.
That's why we're the big 5.
Yeah,
Kieran,
I didn't.
Nestrin, Kieran.
What were they talking about with like not being safe?"
Orcs around.
Great. Yeah. Nestrin kind of goes, "For the time being, perhaps, my servant can get you anything you'd like, and you can remain in my tower, if that is more to your pleasing. Unless he has extensive knowledge that may be of use in this orcish invasion."
I doubt it.
I look at Kieran. Like,
He goes, I don't... No, I'm good. Thank you."
yeah, no, I don't think so.
And like, the woodward kind of comes up to him, kind of grabs his hand and begins to like lead him off.
I'll be back for you, Kieran.
"Okay, I'll follow this tree."
Don't worry, you'll be
goes off to a
safe.
chamber to the side. Nestrin goes, "It is the safest place at the moment.
Yeah.
I am interested in what happened last you left here, and must have traveled past the orcs if you traveled further west.
We did.
However, any of that information should be contained till court."
You mean like a court of justice?
There's, not for the first time in the past week, another war council. The Illinois Keep. We'll be discussing what's going to be happening next. Nobles and officers are invited to come along. I think the Big 5 would be welcome to join. Considering your previous efforts with the Dwarven people in Illinois, you'll have a word.
Well, no offense, I'm not gonna join any large-scale battles. I'm not a soldier.
It's your information that we're after.
Right.
He begins to step towards the area where there would normally be a front door, which at the moment there isn't one. But as he gets close, the tree opens up. The door kind of like swings open and he begins to step out. Xanthe follows him.
It is not.
I will follow.
jump through.
Are you the last one?
Yes.
Probably,
Yes.
yeah.
As you can like jump through, right as the last inch of your body leaves the tree, it slaps shut. It was a very close call.
If you just go first, you don't have that experience.
You're not funny.
The tree doesn't respond, and Nestor is like 30 feet away already. They continue to walk at a relatively brisk pace, continuing around the small lake that's in front of Nestor's house to get to a wide walkway that goes up to the Ilnor Keep that is set upon a slight hill. This keep has its own walls around it, similarly built out of trees with the branches and such woven in neatly to create the walls itself between these towers.
These people have a keep, but they don't have an army.
The castle itself, also mainly organic materials, but the doors swing open at Nestrin's approach, and you're all allowed to enter. You enter into what seems to be some form of entrance hall. Nestrin goes off to speak with one of the servants, while Zanthe kind of like waits behind.
Well, you see, a keep can be defended by a small amount of men. It's not necessary for a keep to have an army.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the point of a keep.
Still.
Missing the point.
I mean, I think they're missing the point with the orcs now. If they had something to protect them, they needed to build a keep.
Well,
Or at least.
it's an elven keep, right?
Yeah.
It's elven keep, so it's probably not a good keep anyway.
Probably, yeah.
Like in comparison to most places, by the way, it's like just for a bit of world building. The whole of Dorelia, the two large cities and whatever like small hamlets are around it, may contain 100 to 150,000 elves as civilians, whereas Genova or Mornadil has like maybe 1 or 2, 3 million. Coppermoon is more leaning towards like 4 or 5 million. Just in an amount of people kind of number, there are significantly less people here in the whole of the country.
Skill issue.
Hey, Xanta, wanna see something cool?
Again, like turns towards you and goes, "What?"
And you give me the portable hole! Look at this crystal! No.
You guys, you open that up here? It has corpses in it, I'm just asking.
Oh, yeah.
Fine.
He kind of like looks in.
Don't look at it. That's good.
I specifically asked him to look at the crystal.
He speaks common at this point,
What
by the
crystal?
way.
With a dude inside!
The
Oh,
Massilian.
Oh, I mean that crystal.
Yes!
He looks in and he goes, "That is peculiar."
We found it inside a worm.
A purple one.
Purple worm.
I have a skill here.
I'll fold it back up because it's freaking me out.
Oh no, wait, I have a tooth here. Large tooth.
That is.
Don't know what to do with it yet, but I have it.
Also, I've seen
Make
this
a weapon
one
out of it.
place you
Oh,
must
cool.
visit. I'll tell you about it
I
later.
think it will do a good step.
Okay. I'd like to hear it.
Oh wait, yeah, no, maybe not like local
Nestrin at this point comes walking back
or like
with the servant that he was talking to, kind of like leaving from the point they were talking together.
Piece of my arm.
Oh wait. What?
I told him to like place the tooth in instead of his arm, so he's like so every time he punches.
Okay. Sure.
Jera laughs in real
Anyway.
in the game too.
Nestrin,
He's like,
Nestrin comes walking back and he goes, "We will be announced separately, but regardless, you're about to enter the presence of Eamared Vikiran, the High Elven King." Eamared Vikiran.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna forget that.
I suggest that you speak when spoken to. Elves can be less forgiven than the courts of dwarves and men.
Less forgiven than dwarves.
yeah, I was.
I mean, you guys are stubborn, but not like
We can hold a grudge.
You ever seen
easily
an elf?
offended.
It makes sense. They're elves.
They're elves, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you are guys are tough-skinned. Like, you can have something, and elves are like, ooh.
At that
That's
he
what
goes,
we keep saying, yes.
Something with me? You'll be announced after us. Plus, at a somewhat of a distance, they leave. The servant that was talking to Nestrin kind of like in the opening of what seems to be a large double doorway on the opposite side of the entrance hall, opens up the door to presumably a large throne room. As you kind of like begin to step in, you seem to stand at the top of what seems to be a low staircase with maybe like 10 steps or so that leads into this large throne room. The throne room itself from the inside looks like an organic home. Like it's made, the floors are neat, like grassy fields. The walls are, you can see these trees that create these support beams and a similar wall kind of structure of the branches all woven together. The top, the roof of this is just all like, you see leaves and little flowers and such. You see faint lights poking through as if you're like in a dense forest on the inside.
They have weird ways, that's all I'm going to say about this.
There's a large
Very
table
fun.
in the center of the room with a large map of this city on it. Standing at the head of the table, you see an armored figure dressed in a familiar ironwood kind of like armor, which you've seen before on the McLeods when you entered the jungle for the first time. With a tall crown of gold and silver branches upon his head, long blonde elven hair and sharp features. You see many other officers in similar ironwood armor, though not carrying the crown. The servant that opened up the door for you introduces Nestor and Xanthe as Archmage Nestrin Xymar and his apprentice Xanthe.
Oh, Archmage.
They begin, like at that point, heads begin to kind of turn as your entrance has been acknowledged. They begin to make their way down the steps, and as you enter into the chamber for the first time, it begins to speak. And the Big Five, Chara Longfellow, Zira, Angelina, Victoria, Katerina, Gertrude, Elizabeth, Evangeline Breton, and George Whedon Jr. of the Soul Forge, Heroes of Primoria. As you begin to enter in, you see a familiar dwarven figure that is closer to the table, and almost only his shoulders and arms are kind of like reaching over as you see Bran Stonebrand kind of like slams his hand on the table. Finally, somebody who can make some fucking sense in here.
George just walks over to him. He's good like a good old.
Again, like he's the only dwarf in the group, and he just like hugs. He goes, "These people are just the worst to have to deal with.
Your position, I would not want to share.
I do not want to share it." And as you kind of like go into conversation yourself.
We're speaking Dwarvish, right?
Yeah, at this point would be probably.
A little too loud, like everybody's like annoyed at it.
They all kind of like look over Nestor and like you see his hands kind of go to his face, like face falling his way.
At one point, I'll say, "Guys, come on."
I just can't imagine you have to sit here for like how long?
It is not
With all
nice
these
to
elves?
speak
One of
this language.
these elves
when
begins to
nobody
like.
else can-
One of that's standing next to the king kind of like steps forward. It's like this like nicely, very clean looking, never damaged armor, like this very clean, shortish blonde hair. Seems to be an older high elf, but definitely like taking care of himself. He speaks up towards Bran and he goes, "There is simply no reason to protect the shanty towns outside of Illinois." Bran turns away from that conversation with this piercing stare toward this guy, going, "My people have built that town with their own blood, sweat, and tears over the past year, and we will not let it be destroyed in some orcish assault."
Also, it's kind of rude to not protect all your people.
At this point, like
I say in Elvish.
Nestor is kind of like shooting a look at you. Bran continues going, "I simply request that me and my people will be allowed to defend our homes." The individual speaks up again, this elvish officer or general of some sort. "If you are left outside of the city walls, we cannot allow the gates to be open. And if you are forced to retreat, there will be risk to the whole city. So we suggest that your people defend the city from inside its walls." this point, kind of like Bran begins to just like curses at him in Dwarvish, which you guys catch, nobody else does.
I know.
But
Nicely catch.
for those with higher passive perception, at this point you notice that the king, who's since you entered, hasn't taken eyes off you, hasn't acknowledged the conversation between the two of them. And then he begins to speak. You were the group that was present at Pomoria a year and a half ago.
Yes.
You know of these orcs, or you've encountered them.
Yes. Correct again.
We used to have people keeping an eye out, a group known as the Pomoria Guard. We haven't heard of them for a little over a week now. Considering they were not able to warn Marduran about the orcs' advancement, we assumed that they are dead. That being the case, the Big Five is the only credible source of information about the orcs that we have currently available. Do you know of them?
Ooh, we need to begin at the start, like when we first saw them and stuff?
Any information that could be helpful to our current position.
Well then, want me to do this again?
I mean, yeah, go for it.
Okay, I suggest you take a seat. I'm very good at this. Okay, so it all started like a year and a half ago, and we were all meeting up in this cool camp called Pomoria. Yeah, you already said, and we're like, oh yes, let's be friends and adventurers together. High five, yay! That's how we started as the Big Five. Okay, now you're up to speed. Okay, so there were these orcs who we all encountered individually, and we all murdered them. Okay, well, one ran away with I guess. And he very much recognized me and they tried to kill me because I massively burned one of them. Like, oh, he was ugly after I was done with him. Anyways, so they were all like, hey, we are taking over this town. And we were like, that's not nice. And then we took hostage one of their priestess. And George was kind of flirting with her. But doesn't matter, he's over it.
Right.
And we were like, okay, let's bargain our way out of this. And then we did something very stupid. We gave the priestess back and we were like, okay, let's just escape everyone. Because we were like escorted out of it. We're like, we're gonna take over that camp and you guys can go. And we're like, oh, that's not good. So we just hit the orcs on the head and we're like, come, let's save everyone. And then we saved everyone. And then the camp got taken over. And we're like, okay, but everyone is saved. And we're like, okay, good, what's next? And then everyone was like, yeah, we're just gonna go away. I was like, okay, that's cool. And then we stuck as a group and we're like, oh, let's adventure. And then we came back and it was like, the orcs are still a problem. But you can't do anything about it. And we're like, okay, we won't. And then we just snuck past them and went on our way. And then they wanted to attack you guys and it's all we know.
I feel like you're forgetting a few important things, like they have giants, there's ogres, they have a very demonic influence within their ranks.
Yes.
Yeah, but you know.
That's probably what they wanted to know more than our life story.
Yeah,
They were fighting a giant what was it again? Like a lizard creature called Bloodbane
yeah.
in the jungle, which had all the kind of demonic things on it.
Which was just a dinosaur, right?
We ride a dinosaur.
Dinosaur.
So
Act like a dinosaur.
Must be a dinosaur.
But
still, dinosaurs is creepy.
if they're not having resources,
They're
fighting
also very spread out from what we can tell.
yeah, they're also down in the continent,
In the wildlands,
in
yes.
the wildlands, next to Gerovia.
Not 100% sure those are the same.
Yes, Genova, same thing.
And they're not like open for bargaining.
The officer kind of individual that's next to the king kind of steps forward and he goes, we've heard of orcs in Genova. Are those the same orcs that we are encountering here?
Seems to be
so.
related. They have the same kind of like demonic creatures.
It's the demonic influence that makes us believe
Oof.
this is a problem, but
Have you
it's
seen
larger.
the sigil of the ones of Genova? Because I still remember the ones from here. If we've seen the one and it's the same, then yes, but also if it's not the same.
I do believe it was similar.
Well, I think it's worth mentioning that throughout our travels we have seen a lot of weird groups. Comes to the wildlands, to here, to the jungle, to the desert. Wherever we go, it seems there is this demonic influence that seems to be linked to one another, corrupting cultures and armies.
Right.
Telling them to take over the world and kill everything that is not with them.
But
Fashion.
always in different words.
Yeah,
Different words, same
Same-
story.
but they
Yes.
mean the same thing.
The general continues. And these orcs, you've attempted a negotiation but failed.
Yes, but that was way back when we were new at this adventuring stuff.
I mean,
We're better at
not,
it now.
Not really.
I wouldn't say we completely failed, we just didn't agree with the outcome.
We handled it wrongly because we didn't know at the time that it was not the right decision to do. Like now we know because we're better at it. But back then it was like the first negotiation we did ever.
That's
For the record, by the way, the orcs in Genova were carrying different banners than the one here. Here they were carrying a black horn on a red field. There they were carrying a variety of different ones, but not that one.
okay. I thought it was similar.
Although the orcs did both have demons with them, I think.
Yeah.
The officer, the elf, kind of begins to speak up again and goes, "So you failed, but they are sometimes open for a diplomatic option." At which point Brent kind of like slams his fist together and goes, "I don't know any orc that's ever been open to a negotiation before. Not actually really. Even these people, they've tried and they were double-crossed."
And it was mostly because we had a hostage.
Yeah, that's
Like
the
we
only
had a
reason.
bargaining chip. We just misused it.
That's the only reason they wanted to talk at all.
Like if you want to do it diplomatically, I suggest you just kidnap a very important person and then use that person to negotiate your way out of it.
At this point, funnily enough, the door swings open and you see an elvish scout in like leathers walk in, kind of steps forward, comes up closer to the king and begins to speak as everybody kind of like just looks at this rando walk in. And this one begins to speak, going,
There, what do you mean?
a scout, small group of orcs riding under a white banner are approaching the western gate, but their ringleader doesn't seem all that orcish.
What does it seem
The king at this point kind of like turns back and goes, "That's surprising."
Maybe we can kidnap them.
No.
Kind of like he turns back and he goes, "What did this ringleader look like?" Scout. We saw them from a distance. They ride a large boar, very large horns, and I'm pretty sure a tail of some sorts, but not minotaurish, no fur. Odd-shaped orc.
Pretty sure we've seen that before.
The scout at this point kind of like lost, looks at you. The rest of the table kind of like begins to look in your direction. King, a little suspicious and on his guard. If they have come to talk, perhaps we should talk. But elves do make orcs often more aggressive. Brand kind of like steps forward and he goes, "If you're letting me out of this fucking city, I'll take care of it."
Nah, we'll do it.
Kind of, the king kind of like turns towards his advisor and or to the officer next to him, and he goes, "Do you speak the Orcish tongue?"
I
And he
do.
goes, "I admit I do not." At which point the king kind of like turns to you. Perhaps some fame and reputation can go a long way to show force. If you're willing to aid us once again in peril, and spearhead these negotiations, whatever they may come for, we'll show them that the elves are not alone in this, and that perhaps Eleanor is harder to take than they might first expect. Bran kind of like looks back at all of you with some intent, an intense eye.
We can kidnap them if we need to.
No.
We'll accompany to protect Bran. And I guess.
Okay.
However, I don't think that bringing Garrick with you would help a lot. He doesn't speak
Who
the
is
language.
Garrick?
The guy standing next to him.
Ah.
He points out.
Some random person.
I suggest there's someone here, a scout from Mardion, that told us of the invasion in the first place. They speak the tongue and are familiar with the banners, to see if this clan is the same that is currently laying siege to Mardion. And he kind of turns to somebody further out down the table, closer to where Nestrin is standing. He goes, Novan, if you do not mind, accompany these individuals to this negotiation and report back in detail. At which point they say what exactly? That you can come to the table. We can all help. Moving the chair.
I had a nap, so I'm waking up.
There you
Close
go.
my eyes for a second.
There was still Sky.
Oh my god, Sky's not dead!
But now my
You
name is
said
Robin.
you did.
Robin Hood.
We lied.
So,
Oh my god!
She's not where I placed her, okay?
yeah, you can put your stuff down.
And I'm gonna take my time.
Stop annoying people.
Why are you doing that?
It has to be a nuisance.
Like, that one's so weak that doesn't count. So,
Pathetic.
as your character steps forward to the table, as you know, you speak when you're spoken to.
Unlike
What?
us.
What does the party and the rest of the chamber see?
Well, the party sees a half elf, white half elf. Here's the rest. From 5 feet and 7 inches tall, wearing leather plate armor. Which
You're wearing the ironwood.
ironwood plate armor. I have golden hair, little glowing tanned and skin and sky blue eyes. And I wear a long sword on my side and a shield on my back.
He continues to speak, going, if this is the same clan, we know we are dealing with a much larger problem than we've ever had before. Just keep in mind that if that's the case, we need to know. Your expertise with the Orcish clans should suffice. Bran, you're very eager to leave. You're allowed to do so, but I don't think we should open up the gate any further than we have to, allowing for only a small group of individuals to come. I think the big 5 and Novan should be sufficient. Bran kind of like, already like halfway away from the table, goes, yeah, this, come on! Kind of like grabs one of his weapons that's like stored near the entrance of the hall, and he like already opens up the door, ready to leave.
We fall.
Okay.
Of course fall.
As you leave the throne room, the conversation continues in complete Elvish, as there's no other than Elvish individuals at the table.
Oh, can I eavesdrop?
Sure. What you hear is that what you hear before the door closes is the king turned towards Garrick, going, "We should begin notifying every man, woman, and child to make themselves ready for." And then it ends as the door closes.
I'm gonna say get ready for popcorn.
You all begin to like walk across the entrance hall and out of the door. Bran's already kind of like halfway down. He's like kind of like strapping some of his armor bits tighter to his body, going, "Thank you for getting me out of there. That was awful.
No problem. I can imagine.
I don't
How
speak
long-
a word of Orcish though, but
How long did you have to deal with them?
For the past 3 days we've been in negotiations of how to handle this problem, but they are insistent upon making sure that my people, after evacuating into the city, do not leave it again. Just leaving our homes and churches and shops and whatnot, all outside to just be destroyed by these orcs if they come to the walls.
Right.
I do not agree with that, but they have a point that we have less protection there, but all dwarvish men and women are armed to the teeth and ready to fight for their homes, especially after what you did. We got a home here after you freed us, and we're not ready to give that up yet.
I mean, it was just the right thing to do to free you guys.
Exactly.
If we're gonna go out there all together. Novan! What's your name?
He doesn't speak much.
Guys, we're gonna be best friends! I like him already.
Okay.
You're okay with this, right?
Anyways.
Like, you don't... you speak Orcish as well, right?
Yes.
Which one of you? Zero, you speak it as well, right? You speak a lot
No,
of things.
Angie speaks Orcish.
Oh, good.
I speak Goblin.
That does not help.
Maybe if it was goblins instead of orcs, it would.
They're not. They're orcs.
Do you know banners and buildings?
Well, several banners, so several groups. I fought 2 of them before in a most important battle. If I would see them, I would recognize them.
Okay.
And there are several, and the Black Horn he just described. I guess it's bad news.
I have a question. Do you like dinosaurs?
I've seen one, I guess.
Okay.
That's where we'll be taking a break. So, with
For
that,
real?
yeah, because we're about halfway through the session. With that,
5 minutes at the table. My God.
we're going to pick up as you guys are getting towards the walls. Bran begins to speak with some of the gate people with the elves at the gate. There's a lot of dwarves there's like tents set up near the gates because they don't have access to their house for the past couple of days. But as a lot of people like see Bran going up to them, beginning to speak with them, and eventually the gate begins to open. There's some a lot of these dwarves kind of come out and show interest, and a lot of them recognize you from some time ago. We'll pick it up in 10 to 15 minutes. So, I mean, we're recording now instead of streaming, so that's not
Yeah,
gonna matter
you're
much.
you're not gonna miss anything.
We'll be back in a second.
Wow.
See you on the other side. I can see you tonight.
Welcome back, everyone, to episode 88 of Unravel.
I miss another.
We're picking up as the party. That's a D3.
That's disappointing.
That's a 1. As the party is making their way out of Illinois through a small crack that is similar to Nestrin's tower, grows in the wall over the course of like a minute. A small one-person wide doorway that's even for the larger ones among you a little tight. The smaller ones doesn't. You guys fit through relatively easily.
So, are you going to edit these two together so that there's no break, or are you going to edit in a break?
No, the break was there. I'm gonna cut it out.
Yeah, you did.
I always
Then you
cut
don't have
it
to
out.
be welcome back.
No, I always say welcome back.
Okay.
I always
Yeah.
cut it out, and I always say welcome back.
Okay.
Just do 5-second break.
Welcome back from the cut.
Yeah, it will be. We'll be taking a break. Welcome back. Which is, I'm
That's
like,
how I always do it.
just edit it out, man.
Okay,
No.
moving along.
You
I
all
was just curious.
may cross. You have to walk through like 15-20 feet of this tunnel before exiting on the other side, where you then exit into the main road that is leads through the dwarven section of the shanty towns outside of Illinois.
So George has a field day, I'm hearing.
I don't know. You enter here, and you've been gone for a little bit, even since last time you've been here. But this street, which a year and a half ago when you first came here was just like a dirt path, is now a solid road, and the buildings on the sides have nice, actually like brickwork and such, in a somewhat dwarvish mixed with Illinoisan style of architecture. You see that the Roaring Boar, the tavern you guys were staying at for a while, that you met Brennan for the first time, is visible from where you exit, and is now a 2-story tall stone building. In that way, there's also there's a larger Church of Moradin set up out here compared to the little, barely a shrine that was set up last. Ahead of you
is Brandon McGee or whatever the name was. Is he with us?
Brandon McGee isn't.
I don't know.
Brand Stonebrand.
Yeah,
that one is. Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
He's like leading as being the official, but he doesn't speak the language, so the rest is going to be left up to you. You exit, and there's this it's a 60-foot wide road with walkways on either side, and some maybe 120 feet across from you, you see currently waiting a group of individuals, mainly orcish in nature. A few of them are riding on these giant boars. They are carrying a single, I wouldn't call it white, a tan flag. It's dirty white. With them, as well as the 2 banners with a red field and a black horn on it. The figure in the center that is still mounted on one of the boards is those high perceptions could spot that from here, a familiar figure, a similarly large built demonic orc individual with this very weirdly patterned axe that he's carrying. This is the same individual that was leading this clan when they first attacked Pomoria. Noting that, on his left, you see riding a board as well, a familiar female figure dressed in heavier armor than you saw her before, is the priestess.
Can I turn to
You flirted with her
Brandon Lee
last
Mulligan?
time.
I forgot his Stonebeard.
Besides, she probably couldn't handle
I don't remember the name. Can I turn to him and be like,
What?
that's some impressive dwarven work. Good job.
He's not really paying attention to that, and he goes, "Yeah, thanks." he was not paying attention to that at all. He's looking at the orcs across.
We'll be fine.
Slightly pulling my helmet. I'm gonna eavesdrop the conversation.
I'll slide next to him. Just be
Muscle.
yeah.
He's a little shorter than you are. A little
Really?
stockier. He's wider, but short.
I'm pretty short for a drawer.
Him too.
I'm 4'4".
Then I'm much taller.
Yeah, he's pretty short.
Are they hill dwarves?
He would be, yeah.
I'm also ill dwarf.
Because I'm a mountain dwarf, so I'm 5. I'm something in the 5, so I'm
Wait,
a
aren't you
small human could
You're 5'1".
Yeah, I'm 4'4".
I'm not sure exactly how big I am.
That's it on your character sheet. We can look it up, but it's not important right now.
I'm
As you guys
large,
approach, the gate behind you, by the way, closes. In the same way that the wooden doors in Nestron's house close. And you see that the orcs in the distance are currently dismounting and approaching slightly.
Cast confining languages because I'm gonna eavesdrop on the entire conversation.
Sure. Bran, who's walking next to you, Angie, would be going, "I'm here in official capacity, but I do not speak the language, so
Yeah.
you figure out what they want, and you go from there."
Otherwise, we'll beat them up.
I don't think that's a good idea, considering that they are carrying a white flag. If we break that that promise, then we can never negotiate with them again.
Well, I'm not saying we will, but if it
We don't attack them until they attack us.
exactly, that's what I meant.
Right.
So, Andrew, you approach. Eventually, you're about 30 feet away. You see...
Am I alone by the way?
No, like,
George will
the group is with you.
Like, we're gonna leave you alone.
Yeah,
Bren is
that would be
next
a
to
very
her,
bad
right?
idea.
And Bren is next to you, and I'm next to Bren.
I'll be next to you, so let's just sort of like...
I'm just always
Everything
like...
But you are
Leaning on
all,
the hammer.
you are all kind of short, and waiting for you to arrive is this like this demonic orc that's kind of like slightly leaning on his like great axe.
Wait, how tall are you?
I'm 5'1", almost 5'2".
I'm 5'6", so that's not...
So I'm just standing
I
there.
am-
That's like that much of a difference.
It is not much.
I am 2 feet tall.
Yes.
It's more than that. I
It's a
think.
little more.
Yeah.
5'1",
Because
5'6", that's a 5-inch difference. That's not that much.
No, that's more.
It's more.
Inch are pretty big.
Yeah. Inches are bigger than centimeters.
This is 4-inch, so that's 5-inch. It's not that much. It's really not that much of a
If you want to
difference.
see 5...
Just gonna...
Yeah,
You approach.
I approach.
They seem to be waiting.
Do it.
1 inch is 2.5
And I-
centimeters.
I go in.
One sec. I want you to be able to speak.
I go in Orcish. Good
Morning.
morning. How can we? You approached. What is your goal here?
I see that the dwarves are too weak to send out their own, and sent their lackeys to deal with us instead.
That's good.
Is he saying that in Orcish?
Orcish shit.
Fuck.
Very well. You have speaking power for this pathetic city.
Apparently.
Thanks for the confidence.
I see that they are ready for this, and that they have full confidence in their people. I'll make it simple.
You do.
We are here for the city.
Okay.
We're taking it.
No, we are not.
Whether it's going to be today or tomorrow, doesn't matter. The city is already ours. How much of a struggle you want to put up is up to you, but I can promise you this. If this city surrenders without a fight, then those living inside may live their little days out in servitude. However, if you choose to fight, we will kill every last man, woman, and child inside and burn this pathetic city to the ground.
And may I ask, why do you want the city?
The elves have no... Those who bring the death rule the world. So far, we've done quite well.
Yeah, who told him that? I'm gonna speak to his supervisor.
I will turn around.
As you turn around, he goes, "This is our one mercy."
I'll say in Dwarvish. So, they just gave us 2 options. 1, surrender, and everyone living inside the city will keep on living. Or 2, they'll slaughter everyone. The reasoning, the elves don't have a right of living.
Some pretty funny words right there, big
I'll
orc
just say
man.
in Draconic to you.
Don't forget to mention the last part.
I said that in common. I want him to understand me.
Sure.
What did you say?
There's some pretty funny words there, you big orc man.
He seems to not respond to your...
Ah,
Words.
cat's got your tongue.
Can't speak.
Probably not.
I think we've spoken with him before, but we couldn't speak Orcish. But maybe that was the thing, but I'm not sure.
So, what is our answer on this?
Well, I gotta
Ren
say
is
that,
the spokesman. I don't think they'll accept that.
That's some pretty awful terms.
Bran indoors goes, I'm not gonna lie, I did not expect to get anything out of this.
Neither did I.
I'm not surprised by the offers.
But, you know, they also said that the people who are raising the dead are the people...
Those who bring death will rule the world.
Ah,
Yeah, like we've heard
That's-
multiple
Never
times.
heard that one.
Yeah, I wanted to say.
You just
Original.
heard one variation after the other.
yeah, basically.
You know, there's more like yo. Pathetic little communities that try to fight.
I'm afraid to say this, and I say this in Orcish,
Mhm.
and I guess it will kind of bring you joy, but you do understand that the people of this town will not accept this. And they are gonna put up a fight.
You'll have until tomorrow morning to rethink your mistake and surrender to our camp out west. However, if you decline mercy, you will not see sunrise the day after. We have prepared long for this siege. Over a year we've been gathering forces,
For this small city, that's a little too much.
and we know that you have no allies, none that can show up within a day. And we know that this force, thanks to the advisors of our commander, the city does not have the defenses. Nothing that can compare to the boar of Krasdam. You'll have time to rethink it. Otherwise, tomorrow morning, these grounds will be soaked in elven blood. If you, human, remain here and fight for their pathetic lives, you will join them in death. Same for your
I think better for you to rethink it.
We shall see.
A very different rule in your hand.
He turns around, gets back up on the boar. The one carrying the white flag drops it to the ground. Tomorrow morning. They turn around and begin to leave.
The boar of what?
The boar of Krasdam. Krasdam is the orcish city in the Wildlands that those who are from Marmadon...
Across the
Marmadon,
lake.
yes.
Krasdam or Presdam?
Krasdam. K-R-A-Z-D-A-M.
I wrote down Krasdam. Dang it.
A-Z-D-A-M. A-M.
Just imagining the big storm ram from Lord of
Ground.
the Wolves.
Ground.
No, it's not.
Ground. That would be awesome.
No, the boar of Krasdam seems to be referring to the commander who had the advisors that knew about the city's defenses. Seems to be referring to a person rather than a siege weapon.
Well, I have a feeling what it might be.
They leave, and as you turn your back, you begin to like part ways. And as when they begin to reach the areas where the city is no longer
I'll shout some dwarvish obscenities at them as they
sure.
leave.
And when you're both pretty far away from one another, you guys heading back into the city, them heading out, they reach that point where the city ends, or the shantytown ends, and the just rural areas begin. And you see a very familiar spell being cast as a large fiery explosion detonates in one of the houses, and one of the houses is just lit aflame on their leave. It's very rude, but they did it nonetheless. Upon your return to the wall, you have to wait
How
for a
far
couple
away
of
are they?
minutes,
When it happened?
like 500-600 feet.
So you can't count as well.
No,
It's
I
not
was,
60 feet.
I was more like maybe I can hit them with a spell of my own.
No.
As you go back to the wall, it takes about 5 minutes for that doorway, that passageway, to open up again, large enough for one person at a time to go through. Except for Zero could fit twice, I guess.
Zero, use double zero.
Yes, I use double zero.
But
It's an upgrade.
you guys return to the keep, eventually entering back into the throne room, once again being announced in your full names. Zero, especially Angie with her 20 names.
I should really give myself a last name.
Am I gonna do this every single time?
God, I want to punch that fucker in the
You
face.
have last name?
No.
Why not?
I have not been given one in my colony because we all just had the one name.
You can have one of mine. I have too
Sure.
many.
Which one do you like least?
There's a reason I go by Angie and not by Angelina.
Sure, I'll be Zira Angelina.
I like Angelina.
Oh, I'll be Zira Lina.
As you all walk further
Lena.
into the throne room,
Oh, well,
most
that was a
faces
joke.
there that were
Okay.
still deep in discussion turn towards you. The king kind of addressing Bran, going, "So, has anything come of these negotiations?" Bran going, "Well, Angelina here had some in-depth conversation. I don't think that is anything. It's going to be anything surprising."
Not really depth in it though. More like they threatened. They gave 2 options, and they left and set the house on fire.
The Elven King kind of like stands up and goes, "What options?"
What do you think?
Or we surrender, and they let you live. Or they're gonna kill every one of us.
They want to kill every one of the elves.
No, just every one of us. Everyone
Was
who
this
defends
group
the
one
city.
that you are familiar with, Novum?
Oh, it was
This
right.
was the Blackhorn clan.
So, I didn't fight it myself, right?
Which one?
The Black War clan.
You haven't fought them, no, I
No.
don't think so.
The other
Unless you
two-
fought whenever they approached Marduron, but I doubt it.
No, I guess not. The other two, yeah, there are 4. at the
Yeah.
top, and 2 of them I fought with, yes. But I know of them.
The king kind of frowns, going, "If these orcs are laying siege to our city, simultaneously as they're doing it to mine, the force must have vastly improved. Oh yeah. There we heard they were a few hundred in number.
Well, they did say they had the whole year to prepare for this.
Oh.
Regardless,
Tough to deal with them, but
our defenses are vast. We can wait out a siege for quite some time. We can send messages to Mornadil and Coppermunda, perhaps get aid there. The relief force may travel for days, weeks, be some time. If we have the resources, kind of like turns to Garrick, right? Garrick goes, "We haven't much, as we weren't planning for the siege to occur, but
you never do.
Always be prepared for a siege just in case.
Apparently.
I don't think that anyone was out.
No, the only people I know that are, close by are my old family, and I don't think they want to see me.
no worries. We can send
Or maybe
messages
they do.
ourselves.
Maybe they miss me terribly.
But is that all that came from that conversation? They wish to kill us all, and the siege will.
Well, they
Commence.
very
We
At
have
some point.
until tomorrow morning.
also they very specifically said like those who bring death will rule the world, because demonic forces are behind all this.
Very creative.
Yeah.
Didn't they
Yes.
say a name?
Yeah, they
War of Krasdam? Krasdam?
Yeah.
Does that ring a bell?
I am not familiar with this individual, but regardless of which, we may not have the strength to destroy them, but our neighboring countries will have incentivizations to come aid us in this peril. We are broken through Coppermunda, and Mornadil will not be far behind.
I'm afraid Genova has their own problems with them, so
Genova is far. Even Monadale and Coppermundo will take several weeks for them to
Oh,
arrive.
yeah.
So.
I am with the Soul Forge, so I could bring in a word, but and if the dwarves are to help, your respect for the dwarves here is to be raised a little.
The king is holding back amusement. Going, we have already graciously allowed more of your dwarven kin to immigrate here and have a voice, gesturing towards Bran.
And before we arrived, you have allowed them to be enslaved.
Do not wish to be spoken to this way in my own court. Mind your tongue, dwarf.
But now
you do what?
we have bigger problems than this.
How about we just compromise? We'll have one more dwarven member on this council who is we'll talk to dwarves nice, and they just get treated with the same respect any elf gets, any human gets, any other person should get, because we're all equal, right? Yes.
I put my hand on your shoulder.
You need all the men you have.
And making allies is the best way to get help.
We will send emissaries to Monadale and Coppermundo. Hopefully we will get a response. If not, we will wait out this siege ourselves, however long it must take. All of our citizens are trained in the blade and bow. Every able-bodied man, woman, and child has the ability to fight when called upon. That we have done. Now, it is simply to see how long the orcs will last before giving up, or for the other forces to arrive and aid us in this. Otherwise, this trouble will continue to their borders, which is something I imagine they wish to avoid. But if there's no more to that negotiation than that, we will send emissaries and wait for a relief force.
That's the plan.
If you have a better suggestion,
If the boy is taken down before he reaches, that would be a great hit.
well, perhaps.
We've murdered demons before, right?
Yeah.
Can do it again.
Just waiting for the words. Haven't heard a please or a thank you.
Trying to get it out. If your ego is too important. We would be most humble. 8. Such a plan. King. Bow.
Mock bow.
If you wish to attempt to throw yourselves in the spears of orcish forces, be my guests. However, scouts that we've sent out, trading it is not defeat if possible at all.
We've done more dangerous things.
I will not stop you in this endeavor,
I
and
mean,
you're allowed to leave the city if that's what you wish.
They be fought to death.
But we will
creature.
send word to our neighboring countries.
Oh yeah, that's a
and
good
wait for
plan.
their responses. We have time, as I said. Wait out this storm.
Well, they don't like that, waiting out a storm.
That's how sieges work.
Conventionally, yes. They just blew up a house without effort.
We have people that can do the same, kind of gesturing towards Nestrin.
I know, but they're attacking and we're defending.
We have walls. And
Of wood.
for them to throw people up against it will cost them numbers. They will set up a perimeter and try to starve us out. Hopefully for them, we will fall before our friends arrive. If not,
Yeah, so the same plan is to do what they did before.
It's gonna be the death of them.
I mean,
If you have a better suggestion, tell me. We do not have the numbers for a field battle.
No, apparently, but you're not showing us any respect for us to do something for you.
You're suggesting you go into that camp and slaughter their leader.
And
I
we're
find it
saying
hard
we
to
can't
take you
do it.
seriously.
Sure.
We've done it before. Like twice already, maybe 3 times
Wasn't the
even.
board
Yeah.
still alive?
Yeah, I think.
So if we...
You talk to us like we're children, while we probably
You speak to us like fools.
Well,
You
you're
know.
acting like one.
Good day, Big Five. Doors open in the back of the room, and you are led out.
I'm sorry, Nestrin.
You find yourselves in the entrance hall again. Allowing to the exit. Novin, it's up to you whether or not you would move with them or not.
I'm sorry.
But you are not necessarily
They are
associated with this kind of
underestimating
behavior.
these.
Your king is kind of
doing the same thing that they did before.
Yes.
Did you follow, by the way? or-
I'm still doubting what I should do. Well, it's my ideal. I guess after 10 seconds of doubting, I follow you. Still keeping my mouth shut.
We want to do something about this.
We should.
I mean, if we're not gonna, they're just gonna get taken over and we have to deal with it another day eventually.
Yeah, that's.
It's like everyone always depends on us. Like we're the only capable people ever.
They never respect us for it.
Oh, that's also a joke. Right? No, okay.
Well, I don't think...
Trying.
Very hard.
It was kind of both.
What's your name again?
Novin.
Nothing.
Novin August Eldervale.
Well, you don't have a favorite dinosaur, but do you have a favorite animal?
No one's ever asked me this question before. I guess a squirrel.
It's a
I
weird.
followed them
It's a
before.
weird answer.
Squirrels, you know they are like most likely to be spies, right?
You're so...
No, George.
George.
Out of all of
These
them, they are
animals are weird.
very useful to be spies, especially in a place like this.
What do you think of mouses?
They are spies among cities.
What do you think of
Not
frogs?
like these.
They're animals. Why should they be spies?
George
They
is...
want you to think. Yeah, but that's not the point right now. The point is, was this boar still heading to this camp? Right? Or was he already there?
Wasn't specified. What was it specified?
You don't know. He simply said that their commander, the Borfkresdam, had advisors that had advised him about the defenses of Eleanor, and thus when they would attack tomorrow morning, those defenses would not last as long as the elves might think.
Yeah.
Though this information you did not relay.
Get there.
Can I get your names? Because I heard you are Angelina and you were Zira, but
They've only announced
Well,
it twice.
no. Now her name is Angie, and now I am Zeradina. I took her Lina. It's now mine.
can you take someone's Lina?
I just did.
Are you a fae?
I speak Sylvan. How do you think I can speak it?
But you look like a little dragon.
3.
That's
She
because I am a
basically
little
is.
dragon.
So how can you be a fae?
Because I'm a fey dragon.
That was a joke.
Oh, that was also a
No,
joke.
no,
Okay.
I'm totally serious.
I'm Chera. Chera Long.
That's also a joke. Look how short she is.
So you're familiar with these orcs? You're a scout.
That's George, by the way.
Are you familiar with their war camps?
Not with their camps, because they attacked us and we defended ourselves, but
If anything, you would be more familiar with their ships,
Yeah.
specifically. You haven't fought them on land before.
they had ships and they attacked the harbor of Mardaron, and I helped defending that.
So you've no clue exactly how many men or orcs would be present.
Approximately, yeah.
I mean, there was a force coming towards Marduran large enough to besiege it. which means it has to number in the thousands. That force alone. This one is coming to Illinois. Illinois is a slightly larger city. You haven't seen their war camp or their force. It's probably not the same one, considering Martyron is still under siege at the moment. That was a couple of days ago. You haven't had much communication with them since then, so if they have been attacked, you're not sure.
Wait.
But Eleanor is quite larger than Martyron.
Illinois is about twice the size of Martyron.
Yeah, so they need to bring a large force if they want to.
They did say that we had tomorrow morning if we wanted to reconsider.
You had until tomorrow morning, because then they would attack.
What if?
You wanna do a sneak attack?
Exactly.
Oh, I like it!
What if we use that opportunity to get close to that leadership? Say we want to reconsider our opinion, and then BAM! Smack him right in the face.
You can do that with this, the purple worm tooth, you know.
I have a fist for that.
I think it would be more effective.
I think the board is gonna come out for that conversation. I think that little guy on this board is just a spokesperson, if anything.
Still. That might get us closer.
It is a step.
I don't like the idea of fighting a war.
Again. I mean, didn't we basically like fought a war like what?
No.
Yesterday.
No,
Just a couple of
4
days
days ago.
Feels like yesterday.
Basically.
I don't think that was a war we fought.
No, a small one.
It fought around us. We did not fight in the ranks.
No, we're not fighting.
Wouldn't we be taking the same road we were then?
I
Killing
don't see a pyramid
head?
that's obvious.
We're just gonna do the same thing back in the day when we tried to do it to the Grung, but then actually succeed, you know?
Good point.
Try to do to the what now?
The Grun.
The
Right.
Grim?
With the
Engine.
Toad Demon.
Transform into a giant eagle again.
I can't.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, the Grum. I thought it said the Grim. I was like, what the fuck's the
Grim.
Grim? Okay, I know what you.
Grim dark.
That was Bree.
No, that was you as well.
Back then, you could polymorph.
Yeah, okay, back then, but I can't do it.
You can't do that anymore? How did you lose that?
I just.
Get the spell? I thought you were smarter though.
That's not how magic works.
No, that's how
Our
it works.
ancestors basically told her, you know what? Not allowed. And gave her another spell.
That's fair.
I
Turning
know.
into animals is
It's not really like the way of battle.
I don't know what the way of Valor is.
Well, Balor is her god. Just
Yeah, I
like
know that
Moradin
much. I know
is.
that much, but I
And-
don't know what the way of Valor is.
I mean,
It's fine. You don't have to explain yourself.
I have a
It's
theme going on, you know. It's
a lot of fire. Yeah, I know.
yeah, what was not in my alley.
Couldn't you become like a phoenix?
What in the world are we doing?
How are we gonna sneak into this camp?
We are discussing the plan,
Right?
No, yeah, exactly.
Yes.
right?
Your
It's not
orcish
very helpful.
knowledge. Any idea where they might keep a general?
You would know orcish camps are are relatively simple, and most of the often in a circular structure, in a circular setup, with the core command structure at the center. No. There's a camp, and there's a smaller camp for important people.
The important camp. Farther away.
Yeah, like really getting there with
Sneak
VIP
to
pass.
the VIP camp. But we're not good at sneaking in the middle.
No, there's nobody who can turn us invisible.
You can never turn invisible.
No, Zera could turn us invisible.
Alright.
Ooh, George. Go ask my little friend if he can help us.
Who's your little friend?
Nicho. I've shown him to you
Bless
multiple times. You've talked to him multiple times. You said he was imaginary, but he isn't.
What do you mean, help us?
Last time I saw him, he helped us be more sneaky. Maybe he can do it again.
isn't here.
That's why George needs to ask if we can help him, and then he can come to us, and then he'll help us.
Wouldn't that be like, far away from us?
That's why we should ask him. He's very close by, probably.
That's
You can always ask.
I guess.
Michelle.
bless you.
Bless you.
I've shown pictures of him that I made for
I've
you
never heard of this.
multiple times.
No clue.
God.
Okay. Are you sure? Because this is okay.
I'm so sure.
You could also ask Moradin, right, still? Have you done that today?
No, I haven't.
Just be sure ask Moradin as well.
What did ask him to smite the boar of?
I mean,
Yeah, why not?
It would be very convenient.
Why not smite the entire army?
The dwarves
Why
are on
not
that
just
deck. Maybe
smite all
both.
the orcs that are
The only
trying
thing
to
he's
take
ever
siege
helped
of
me with.
anyone?
The only thing he's ever helped me with was to identify a damn horse.
Well, the horse was very important to you.
But now the
Just-
dwarves are in the
Well, the more I'm thinking of it, the less important it gets to me.
Maybe Moradin was
Nicho!
trying to show you something.
Where are you? This is George Wayland, Jr. of the Soul Forge, and we require your help. Sneaking around that I asked for you.
What does he?
Illinois.
What does he use as his full name?
Is it a place called Illinois?
Yes, this place is
We
called
don't
Illinois.
know.
That's what he
That's
did.
Illinois.
Because you can use your first name, right?
That's not.
Yeah, no, that's
just not George.
Yeah.
Considering it doesn't speak a language,
He has talked multiple times to George.
Pretty sure you
It
at
is.
least understands the message.
he understands the message. He doesn't respond with words. However, you get like images in your mind a little bit of a dense, warm, distant jungle. That's where he currently is, and that's where his home is. He doesn't leave the jungle.
Every time he communicates in a different way.
He's a weird fella.
I love him.
Well, point is, he's not coming. Okay, he's home.
He's a jungle-bound entity, sadly.
Can't wait to see him again.
No idea.
So no, he's not gonna help us. It's kind of like I want to kill this boar thing, but on the other hand, you know, we haven't been to Coppermunde for a while.
Well, okay, then ask Moradin to smite the boar. Just do it.
Just
do
ask
it.
him.
That's such a big thing to ask.
Just do it.
You're on good terms with
What
him.
are the chances he's gonna answer?
Moradin the god, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
He's a cleric.
Oh, right.
You have a no, and yes, it's.
Exactly.
You can get
If
it.
he doesn't do
Hey,
it, you can
Moradin.
ask him something else tomorrow.
Oh, that's also a joke.
What specifically do you want to ask your god to intervene in and
So in
do?
his head, without like talking to everybody, because Martha, please, would you aid us in our intentions to defeat this boar? Krasna. No.
What'd you get?
34.
Yeah, no response.
In another party, I'm also a cleric, and a dwarven character just lost a baby, which wasn't his, but he got a new life purpose, and the baby was dead. And I rolled a 9
Thanks.
on the divine intervention, so the baby got revived.
Oh, this
Which
was a
was pretty
34,
That's
so
nice.
what do you guys want to do?
It's the only one time I saw divine intervention work.
I mean, it worked
one
once
time I
here.
saw it work was with the horse.
Yeah.
Back to my idea.
Your idea was trying to sneak attack them in the.
I like stabbing, so yes.
I like you.
Wait, that's.
It gives us a chance to punch that orc in the face.
Spell.
Just don't like
For
doing
tuning?
something without first having some sort of
Didn't my scroll give me a spell for attuning or not?
Right.
I think it says when you attune to it
And
once
you
one
know,
appears.
if we fail, we also kill everyone.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, so
But
you can
they're
have
gonna
one.
die anyways.
True, but then it's like more our fault than it already was.
If you roll a 1 or an
No,
8, you roll
it's their
again,
fault
and
because
then
they
you
don't-
grab. If you so
but then
you
we
roll,
have
you grab from the left
them,
one.
so it's
If you roll a 1 or an
much
8, you roll
better.
again, and you get one
If
from
we
the right
wait a
one.
day, they're gonna die anyways.
That's it.
That's very true.
Well, I have called lightning on this now.
There you go.
And honest to God, we don't know who is right here. Maybe the elves are right, they can hold up for much longer than they. Maybe the orcs are cocky. Maybe the orcs are right and the elves are cocky. Maybe they're both a little too cocky for everything.
Probably. But you know, it's...
Maybe we are being a little too cocky and this is not our problem.
I mean,
Well,
it's a
it's-
demon, so it is part of our. We do want to deal with
Because
it.
It's
I
gonna
know.
become a problem
It's
eventually.
definitely be... So we
The
can
same.
deal with it now,
You wanted to say
or
something?
we have gonna have a huge problem with
Yeah, it's already his problem, to be fair.
I wanted to ask you, how strong do you consider yourself to
Very.
fight a whole army of orcs?
Not strong enough.
Definitely not strong enough. So
An
Because
entire army.
I'm
maybe
mostly
not,
a front guy, but I heard some of divine magic and other magic stuff. So
but-
Only
I've
two
heard-
of us
I've
can
heard tales
use
about
it.
you, but
We
never seen you in action.
4 days ago, we just defeated a celestial being that smote down.
May I remind you that the person who made us even see this no more. He has died.
I know that. I know.
Okay. So then keep that in mind before we charge in head first again.
I mean, we don't have a better plan. That's.
Yeah, fucking leave.
That's
That's
not
the
a
other plan.
That's a non-option.
How is it an option?
Because we're gonna
Well,
have to deal with it anyways.
Yes, but we can deal it with later.
Well, you can leave, but if you are here and you want to lend a hand, I would appreciate it.
Yeah, what good has leaving
Because
ever
I'm not
done to
leaving.
us?
Yeah, if we leave now and we wait,
That's very true.
it's gonna be a bigger problem. Just like the snake thing, we should have. Yeah, it's good that we did something.
But you guys have a bit at this point. I'm assuming left the castle
Yeah.
and are outside, like near this front gate. Walking out next, you would have Bran followed by 2 dwarvish
Oh,
individuals.
he followed us out.
No.
Oh, okay.
He's coming out maybe 20-30 minutes after you guys left.
So we've been discussing this.
We're just slowly
He kinda
like
just, like-
walking, debating.
No, you just notice he leaves and he kind of like walks past and acknowledges your presence, but continues his step. He seems to have stuff to do. Unless you wish to get his attention somehow, he leaves.
Where's he going?
Seemingly back to the western gate, to the place where all of his people are.
We ask him. What is
We can ask him.
Sure.
Hey, Brandon. Bran.
Just
You call out to him. He's like maybe 200-300 feet away at this point. He kind of like looks back, confused. Kind of like waves back at you.
So, what's your thoughts on the plan?
What?
I'll walk closer.
He comes walking towards you.
So, what were you thinking about? Like, what's the idea?
Well, we've gotten permission for the time that they would attack. We have access. He's given us access to their town. Put out the fire, rebuild, prepare stakes, whatever other types of defenses we wish to try and set up some kind of defense for our town. And given permission to reside outside of the walls, however, he did mention that if we were to be attacked, we would be on our own, as the gates would not be able to open quickly enough for everybody to retreat. But knowing my people and their callouts for wanting to protect their home, I know where the popular vote lies. I do not know when the orcs are coming, but when they are, the orcs will be outside the wall most likely.
That's so fucked up.
We can't just leave.
You've been given permission to leave if that's what you want.
That's
No,
not...
I am debating against it because these people want to leave, and I'm like, no, let's help.
Excuse me, I want to punch
No,
that
of course
fucker in
you
the
want to
face.
punch stuff. You're very good at punching stuff.
I
Exactly.
just thought that we have
Very
options.
best.
We do, but like...
The king seems willing to sit out the siege and wait for
I really
great
think
forces
he
to
is
arrive.
underestimating their numbers.
We do not have. He is right. We do not have the numbers to face them in open battle.
So what are the battlements in the town?
Sorry?
What are the battlements in the town?
We have the elves have the walls. They are magically warded, so they have that. And depending on what kind of siege equipment the orcs have, they may not be able to penetrate the walls easily. That's their hopes. If they are attacking from the west, there will be a sizable dwarvish force there to repel them. But I doubt that our numbers will be enough, depending on what kind of protections we can muster before they arrive. We don't know when they will attack, but when they do, we will be as prepared as we can be. The king is hoping it will be a couple of weeks, but their tenacity suggests otherwise to me.
When they attack?
Yes.
Well, from what we have understood, they might attack tomorrow.
That was part of the negotiation part.
That was tomorrow morning. That's the
They
last
basically
thing.
said
Oof.
either surrender or we're
Fuck.
gonna attack tomorrow.
I don't think he realized that.
Of course he didn't, because, you know, he is a fool.
Did you tell him that?
We did.
I don't remember
That's
that.
why I started with that.
We gave him the ultimatum decision.
Should I
which
just...
was-
I don't think you've mentioned that they will be attacking tomorrow. I do not remember that part of
I
the...
told them that the last part is tomorrow morning, and after that
They had till tomorrow morning to
There is a difference between them starting the siege and being outside of the walls and trying to starve the city out and attacking it.
It's... That may be my fault.
Okay, let's go inside and tell
I-
that stupid fool.
You are not permitted back into the castle.
Okay, then you...
Excluding yourself. Sylvan.
Okay, then you tell him. Or you tell him.
It may be something to of note.
Just send them a message.
You have seen him. Oh, by the way, if I can go close enough and I can see him through a window, I'll telepathically tell him
I suggest no snooping around these parts.
I just need to see him and be close enough to send a message to him.
Still.
What do you
I appreciate you want to help.
George will
Like
sort of
this.
walk
But there
a
are
little
rules
bit on
here.
the side.
Lick
and be
that
like,
fool.
What the fuck?
Shira, I appreciate you want to help, but there are...
Then you go tell him.
No,
You can go
rules here.
inside.
I should tell him what?
That is gonna attack tomorrow. You heard, Bren. The king doesn't realize they're gonna attack tomorrow.
George will send a message
You attempt to send a message to them?
to the king.
Okay. What do you say?
So he... Okay.
Was it King of Illinois? This is George Wayland Jr. To perhaps inform you on one important thing. The orcs are to attack in 1 to 2 days.
Tomorrow. Just tomorrow.
Tomorrow morning.
We might have not conveyed that clearly enough.
You are aware that there are certain individuals who have blocked themselves from spells such as this. Archmages, other important political individuals that don't want to be bombarded by any 5th level wizard that can cast the sending spell with questions. This is one of those individuals who cannot be,
Can we send it to Nestle?
who cannot simply be responded to as such. Bran, however, does kind of like does turn it over and go, if this is a piece of information that the king should know, perhaps we can return and you can inform him of this. You've heard the orcs speak, I have not. And perhaps it will buy some goodwill. Regardless of that, you are permitted to leave and no one is asking you to do anything rash. feel bad if you
Ben,
killed
you
yourself.
know us. You know us.
I do.
We're gonna do something rash.
Like, we heard the guy was having slaves and we were immediately wanting to beat his ass.
It's not like that we are not free to leave. It's more like that, like our conscience is just saying it's maybe not the nicest thing to do.
And we've dealt with those demons before, so it's a bigger problem that we need.
I mean, how long did we stop the Orcish army from entering Genova again?
A week? Was it a week?
4 days.
4 days? A
So
work week.
I mean, so we can do something.
Just let it go.
Level 8, I think.
Are we level 8?
Level 9, I think.
9, I believe.
9 or 10, maybe.
No,
No, not 10.
9.
I think 9. And you had Bess and Bree, to be fair.
Yeah, that's right.
Spellcasters as well. That helped a lot.
I mean,
Spellcasters can do bigger things than
Yeah, but
marshals.
before we had way too much spellcasters. Right now it's
No, it's
more
bigger.
I'm not saying
so
anything
I
bad.
guess.
I'm just saying that there's a difference in power there.
There is.
Bran turns to you and turns to most of you and goes, "If you're willing to stick this out, I am sure that our people in the Western Gate will be more than happy to, delighted even, to hear that they will be permitted to leave. Coming from friendly faces, I suggest you do that while Novan and I try reasoning with the king once again."
Alright. Toch some sense in time.
Try. Yeah. Part ways. Novum goes with Bran back into the castle. Well, you are announced, as you are separately, but you arrive together. The king at this point there's a much smaller amount of people at the table. Mainly mages and such have left, most likely to cast sending spells to those who they wish to ask aid from. You enter back in. Bran as well. The king kind of like looks up and adjusts himself a little bit. Bran goes, Your Grace, there may have been a detail that was left out in our previous conversation. Novum, you heard the words of the orcs as well. Perhaps better to come from you.
First, before I begin, I take a deep bow out of respect. And I start telling the story of what I heard. That
What do you tell exactly?
yeah, I tell that the orcs are going to attack probably tomorrow or in the day after.
The moment you mention that, the king kind of like does frown a bit, and there seems to be a wave of concern that then comes over him.
God, why do you think
And
we
I
were
say
concerned?
then, talk didn't went that well, and I guess we might insulted them. So I guess that's...
I was aware that the conversations did not go as planned, or as well as we hoped it may have gone, but on the other hand, they are orcs. I wouldn't have been surprised if they were starting the siege within the next few days. I'd be surprised that if we wished to leave in an eastern direction that we would be attacked. But them attacking the city while we are at full strength, even if they know of our wards, which means they have someone powerful on their side, perhaps a traitor of some sort, that brings concern. Their confidence there would be losses on both sides. I'm not sure whether or not we would be overwhelmed.
You suspect a traitor, my lord?
I expected for them to start the siege and starve us out. If they attack and they do not know of our defenses, I have confidence in that. If there's someone who's been spilling information about it, details that the orcs should not know, leaves us in a much more precarious situation. Already armed, everybody. But if they are attacking soon, our allies can be called upon, but whether or not they will arrive in time is unsure. And if we fall, they would be prepared, which would be nice. But dead. It's worrisome. We cannot face them in the field of battle. All we can do is ready ourselves with the knowledge we have and expect an attack rather than a siege. That we will do.
My lord, I went with the 4 of the Big 5. And I know most of them are interested in helping us. They are not sure how. And I am sure, I hope at least, we can make amends and come together. I think we need all the strength we got.
I've heard stories of them. The work they had done at Pomoria, the work they had done here in Illinois. The political bargaining they have done in Genova is commendable. However, their entitlement is something I did not expect. They are, however, known as great heroes, both amongst our people and the orcs. Having them on our sides would perhaps be of at least a morale advantage. But they are unpredictable.
You can't say that again!
You are reliable. If they have a plan, they wish to take advantage of the current situation of things, they have my permission. But I cannot send any of my men out. I cannot send an army out. I cannot send a force out. I've already permitted the dwarves to fall in defense of their own town. Stubborn as they may be, they are willing to die for. The Big 5 has some kind of plan. You can aid them in whatever way you can, do so. If they wish to fight alongside us, rather see them on the field of battle than as corpses on the ground. We will prepare for an attack rather than a siege. Thank you for that information. Good luck, you and the Big 5, with your endeavors.
It's for you, my lord.
Brad kind of like grabs his hammer back up again from the floor and he begins to like move out with you as you begin to leave the throne room. He goes, "Oh, so fucked, we're so fucked, we're so fucked." Continues walking.
And why? I mean, fucking means something else.
No, that's not right. Yeah. Fucking elves.
Yeah,
No,
that's
not
that
not
also
fucking.
means something else.
No. And he kind of like just walks out.
Minus 2 charisma, everyone.
He goes,
minus 1 wisdom.
In some way, shape, or form, I'm gonna have to instill confidence. They're attacking. Spikes, perhaps. Any kind of siege weaponry that we can provide for ourselves. Any large. The elves will be on the walls. That will help.
I see you're worried, but we do what we can.
They always do. And my people are tough, but they have been through a lot. I do not wish to see them die needlessly in battle, but they are defending their homes.
They will not die needlessly.
Their choices, I simply represent them.
We're gonna hype the dwarves up, aren't we?
Yeah, this is
Hell yeah.
like,
In the meantime, you guys have made your way to the western gate, where there are there's a lot of dwarves there, and the 2 individuals that Bran was walking with, it had already continued ahead. You see, most compared to before when you moved through, they're the amount of dwarves that is out and about. They're talking. Some of them are putting on armor or sharpening weapons. They're all talking to each other, mainly in dwarvish.
Is there a sort of a higher up stage?
George will just take the anvil he has and he'll start
that would
standing
help.
on it.
No, I want it to be.
There isn't a stage ready or anything like that. But if you have something,
something high.
the barrel, you can stand on the barrel.
George is already
There
using
isn't a
his anvil
fruit
before you're
cart you
looking
can
for
stand
anything.
up on.
There's also a flying carpet, to be fair.
There is
Yes.
a flying carpet.
Sure.
With the shield and the hammer. Just
When you guys arrive, and certainly when you do that, a lot of the dwarvish heads and even the few elves that are on the walls near the gates kind of turn in your direction, and you have the full attention of the vast majority of the dwarvish population of Illinois.
Step on the carpet.
George will gracefully step on the carpet from the anvil.
Yeah.
Just do like a little.
Like Aladdin.
And the carpet begins to rise into the air.
My fellow kin, we've saved you once before, and we will do so again. But not alone this time, we will have you on our sides.
You can hear like clanking of swords and shields.
We will not sit behind this wall, no. We will sit in the houses we have made. Proudly and fiercely.
More clamoring. Voices begin to like murmur amongst each other.
They will try and attack. Soon.
They will try.
But we will punch them all straight in the face.
Yeah, there's like a couple of orcs. Straight in the face, in the balls!
Hell yeah!
Only the balls work
There's a couple of
shorter
orcs.
than them!
Yeah.
So who's with us?
You at that point like the array of voices. In the balls! In the balls!
In the balls!
Yours is all like, sure, in the balls.
Ding ding.
It's like the clapping of swords together, armor. Like some people are like smacking helmets together.
I just
You've
send a
riled up these
fireball
dwarves
into the
relatively bad.
air.
At which point they begin to they turn towards the elves, and the elves like the doorway is slowly beginning to open. The first of the dwarves are like pushing themselves through. After like maybe a minute or two, there's just like this slow flow of dwarves who are just like ready and piling up on each other, trying to get the fuck out of the city.
You fly over?
Yours sort of looks at you, if I'm gonna die on this, I'm gonna die amongst brothers.
Exactly.
There's like amongst the dwarves, there's men, there's women, there's
looks at one of the
young,
women
there's relatively
and
young
says
children. There's relatively young children that, as long as they can wield weapons, they are fully armored at this point.
I am not okay with that, but swear to God.
I mean, children, I'm saying like your age and a little earlier.
Oh, I'm okay with this.
At that point, when your speech kind of ends, Bran and Novum kind of come back. That works.
Yours goes over to,
In the balls!
yours just sort of goes over to
What
Bran.
function has that in the balls? Okay.
Do you have any tunnel systems?
Not under the city. There's sewers that can be crawled through, but also only from the bigger towns. Why? The town hall, the church, the tavern.
We should have tunnel systems. I mean,
I do not. We haven't. We've been building houses. There has been a lot of people coming in, and we've been occupied.
well,
It's probably the first thing on their list.
Trenches can be dug. I was thinking spiked palisades, anything that we can set up quickly. I don't think the elves are going to stop us from chopping down some trees if that means that we're defending our home, so... And I don't really care at this point.
Exactly.
do everything we can to fortify the town. Any
That we
places that could be used as choke points or good defensive holds?
Church of Moradin will be quite easily defended, strong walls.
Town hall, maybe?
A town hall will work. There are small streets, but the large streets we can defend relatively easily. But there's going to have to be some organization to that mess, and you see just like the dwarves that are still like fighting into each other. Balls.
Looking at like the large carpet, I have a plan, but it's not gonna be. It's gonna get rough, but we
I
are
like
used
it.
That's
to
kind of
that.
our
I'm
plan.
I'm 100% into for
How many dwarves?
Fighting men, women, and children. We number. Latest estimation, somewhere around 1,500, a little less perhaps.
I need you. Hold off. And alright, I've read about this once before. We make two fronts, and we make it appear as if they can flank us easily. But we attack the flankers with our original actual army. And in the midst of that, we fly to whoever looks like their leader, and we take the fight to them. Hopefully breaking their party and pincering them.
And breaking their morale.
I'm not sure if we can survive. Or best to.
Your presence at the front lines will be a morale. If you leave, could be so. Depending on what they have of demonic forces, you may require some help in that. But if official attack begins and no skirmishes are happening, we can act as a distraction.
I hope you can act as my more than that, but...
We will fortify, try to build a wall of sorts around most of the town, leaving the center road open for attack. It appears a small crowd there, we can draw them in. If we have our dwarves waiting in their houses and in their homes, maybe we can appear smaller than we actually are.
Take them street by street, room by room, house by house.
That's what we're good at.
At this point, Bran begins to like talk with some of his people and try to make organization of what the fuck the mess is. And there is a voice of somebody who's like standing a little ways away, individual in some like slight leather armors, a large bow on his back, long black hair and vibrant green eyes, kind of like looking at all of you. Looks at Zira and goes, "I saw that you were back." And you see Elkian leisurely standing at a distance, having observed most of what was happening just now.
Right.
"I saw you came back. I am impressed. Your ability to rile up these dwarves."
We know how to talk to our kin.
How was your expedition? I saw bits of it,
Successful.
but
Eventually, unfortunately. Anyway. But we found what we will.
well, the king has called upon everybody to aid, and here I am to aid. Although,
Much rather not.
I'd much rather not. I am an adventurer and a merchant. I am not a warrior, however skilled I may be.
Whoa, bitchy.
If we do survive all of this, the ships in the dock of Rainville are still waiting for your expedition, and I have nearly completed the preparations for a deep dive into Homunda.
Right.
Hamunda.
Until then, though,
Yes.
good luck with your endeavors. I will find my way amongst the elvish ranks if you do not mind.
You can follow us around.
I have matters to attend to.
I mean, through the eyes of the gecko.
That I do. Good luck. He takes leave. What do you guys
I
want to
bet
do?
he missed me, that's why he claimed to say hi.
I think so.
I think so
See me?
too.
So, Hamunda.
Yes. What about it?
Eventually.
I might have interest in going there some.
Well, then you can join us.
Well, then make sure we don't die.
Yeah, keep us alive.
And don't die yourself. That's also.
How am I supposed to keep you alive? I mean, I don't have any healing stuff.
Well, very
Stab
simple.
people.
Make sure they
You
don't
like
stab
stabbing
me.
things, right?
Stab
Best
them
defense
first.
is a good offense.
Exactly. We punch you first. And
Yes.
strike hard.
Well, I don't punch. I slice,
Yeah,
and I
you
pull out my sword, and it's a sword with little glowing light on it.
I love that sword.
It's a fancy sword.
How did you get it?
What a
That makes
That's a
sense, I
terrible
guess.
story.
For the time being,
That's a good story.
for the time being, about around this time, it's about
Oh, I made a joke now. Okay.
right now it's about noon, which means you have about half a day, and then tomorrow morning. I don't assume any of you want to go to the camp to deliver a message like, "Hey, we're taking the surrender," or "We're not taking the surrender," which would give you half a day of preparations you want to do. What the dwarves are doing is they're cutting down nearby trees and rapidly building a palisade around most of their shantytown. Trying to build that up relatively strong, but then leaving a purposefully weak-looking gate over the main road where you guys had the negotiations with the orcs. At this point, the fire of the house has also been controlled and it's gone. The house is not currently being rebuilt because they have other matters to attend to. But 1,500 dwarves can work pretty well, and at the end of the day, they will have a relatively basic palisade finish, kind of what you would see in like when an army sets up a fort camp, how the Romans set up walls really fast. Kind of how these dwarves manage to work as well.
George would want to help set up some sort of like a little bit of a crudely made metal that can be pulled up, almost like a
Sheet metal or something.
like a hidden door or wall, whatever you want to call it, fence, that could sort of block off, once we've gotten like a large group of them, block off the entrance to make it less easy to enter for more forces.
Right.
In like the bigger buildings.
Around the streets where we're like leading them into it.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, so that when they're in the street, they don't spread out into the city. Is what you're saying?
Yes, less easily.
Sure, that can be worked on. Those can be defenses that they're not like next to the road. They'll be set up a little bit into the alleyway, so they're not super apparent. Yeah, that can be done. There's the forges of the dwarvish. There's a bunch of smiths here. Like the Illinois itself maybe has a smith, maybe two. This shantytown has like 4 or 5, and these forges are all running, and there's a bunch of dwarves like working on that, working on any type of metalwork they might need for defenses. There's also like, aside from the palisade, which is just a wall, there's also these people that are putting out spikes towards like the outside of the wall to make approaching the walls less easy.
I'd want to help carry raw resources.
Sure, yeah, you can go out and help, like where a few of them cut down trees. There's like just. Like, they cut down trees, they shave them, they move them, they make a point, they set them up right. That's kind of how it works, and you can work in that in-between stage, carrying 1 or 2, like, most whole-ass trees by yourself.
Try to speed up the process.
Yeah.
Just like grab a tree.
To help people in the city, mostly, some dwarves, mostly elves, humans, others. And
There's
myself,
no humans, basically.
Yeah,
And here in this shantytown, a lot of dwarves. The elves are all... The elves do seem to be preparing on the walls, like there's going to be archers on the walls that will be helping
that's
even
what
the
I
dwarves.
wanted to say, to make sure that all the archers, including myself, have enough arrows ready, enough ammo at least.
Okay.
So I want to buy some other arrows.
You want to buy more arrows for yourself?
Buy or take more arrows.
At this point, there are so many people fletching arrows, especially for the elves, that you can relatively easily get yourself 20-40 arrows. After that, it's kind of like, why are you taking so many arrows?
Yeah, 40 arrows.
You can add up 40 arrows for free to your inventory.
Yeah.
Or grab 2 crossbows.
Is there
Sure.
there isn't anything here? I can buy a new staff or something.
A new staff?
Yeah.
Main Vestus Arcanum is still open, or still has an inventory, but I don't think they have any staffs per se.
Are they in here?
Yes, they should be.
Thank you.
Is there anything else, considering you have half a day, of any larger preparations that you would want to do?
Well, I don't want to let know the king about the plan of the dwarves and what the big 5 is up to.
Sure.
So
I'm gonna put invisibility in my spell storing stick.
You would know that wherever the
the
orcs choose to attack, the dwarves are very much exposed in their town, even with the little bit of like you have like the walls of Illinois, right? And then you have the palisade, which is like a third of the size.
Mm-hmm.
So it is a very big contrast in what it can do. And considering they come from the west, the chances that they were attacking the western gate is pretty big, even if the dwarves are up in front of it. So they expect an attack on the western gate. Would make the most sense. Aside from that, though, the elves, which is, this is you're having a conversation with the king. This is what you would learn mostly from Garrick, the officer, the general. They will have ground forces ready behind the gates, and they will have as many archers as they can stack on the walls. They will have them firing from the walls, from the attacks. They have larger ballistas on the in the trees and the towers, which will be firing as well. There's mages here and there that are going to be especially defending the less defended parts of Illinois. But yeah, geographically situated, they're probably either going to attack the eastern gate or the western gate. But the eastern gate would require them to like circle around all the way. So there's a good guess on what their attack plan is, especially considering the orcs were very confident in what they were going to do. They're probably not going to be very tactical per se.
And considering that, would we risk a 2-front war? 2-front?
Perhaps.
And I want to discuss with the king what to do when that happens. How does the communication work? The
communication would go through the officers and lieutenants and generals of the Illinois forces, and they will within the city, if they do decide to attack the eastern gate, because there's so many dwarves on the western gate, they will have slightly more elves on the eastern gate.
I want to make sure, like, the most important names of the officers, so one leading on the west, one leading on the east,
Sure.
that the mages and George, everyone who has the sending spell, knows those names and knows they can alert them if that happens. So they are alerted easily when a two-front war is upcoming.
Sure. Some of the people will start working on that, introducing people. Is there anything anybody wishes to do with the half day specifically, aside from helping out, anything you specifically want to build for if they attack, or specifically want to prepare for if they attack?
I want to talk to Angie.
Sure.
Angelina, sorry. Because it's also
later in the
I'd like
evening.
to build on.
Later in the evening, when lights are lower.
Could I also when I
Talk to me?
yeah,
Just
of course,
go on.
obviously.
What do you want to do?
I wanna try and help and set up traps in like for when they do break through.
Considering the way they're building it, people aren't necessarily like wanting to put up traps in their house.
Well, no, I mean like, or maybe in front of the walls, right? If you go
Pit traps.
maybe would it be?
In place to like again get them to where we want to go.
Yeah, I'll try to put like traps.
If you begin digging, there's a bunch of dwarves that eventually show up with shovels, and they're just like, "Where are we digging?"
I'll try to make like work out with people where.
You also show.
Yeah, sure.
Do you want to do pit traps or trenches or both? I mean, if you dig trenches, you're also going to have hills that you can create.
I'll do both. I'll try to do both.
So you'll have the palisades, and you'll have the spikes outwards, and they'll dig a trench, make a hill, dig another trench, make a hill, and then start making a bunch of spike traps outside that to really make the struggle to get to the palisade even difficult.
Yeah.
Again, funneling them towards the gate.
Yeah.
Okay, you lead that initiative. Eventually, you'll have somewhere around like 100 dwarves digging.
I'll try to hype them up as well.
Yeah, they're all like they begin to like in these like dwarvish working songs, chanting, like, throwing the dirt over to the side to create these hills.
I mean, I don't really think I can make any smoke bombs in half a day.
Do you need some inspirational quotes?
Or anything other that's useful as an alchemist.
Let's see, like check it. No,
I would love one.
maybe smoke bombs would be possible. Smoke bomb, because I don't think a smoke bomb is necessarily. It doesn't have to be magical. Yeah. Let's see, 2 pounds. Grenade can be thrown up to 60 feet away. With a grenade launcher, we can create 120 feet. Okay. Obscures an area in 20 feet. If you want to work on that, just create a bunch of smoke grenades that people can use. I'll allow that.
I will do that.
Go ahead and make. Alright, let's say it like this. You and some dwarvish alchemists. You leading the charge.
Because I'm the smartest.
Begin trying to set this up. You'll try and get about 400. You're gonna try and get about 400 smoke grenades. You can definitely make 100. We're gonna roll checks. I'm gonna give you a DC that you're going to have to do to create each 100 more, which can help to obscure outside the walls to again funnel them, or even obscure when people have come in, depending on what you want to do with that. Go ahead and roll a d20. Add your intel or your alchemist tools check, and I'll say to make a successful batch, you'll have to roll at least a 15.
Oh yes, I can make a tools check. This means double proficiency.
That'll help. So you have at least 100 grenades just from the amount of people that are working on this and the amount of time you have.
Plus 8, that's a... Okay, so I need to roll 15, and I need to make an alchemist check, which is just my proficiency and my intelligence, right?
Yes.
So if I roll a 1, I will not do it.
Okay, well, it's possible. At some point you should become a really good alchemist.
That's 21.
There you go. So you have now at least 200.
That is 17.
300. Okay, you'll have at least 400 smoke bombs distributed amongst the people. Basically, what this will do is while you're fighting here, you guys will have layer actions. These layer actions will not only now include the Elvish Archers, which will create an area of effect that can deal piercing damage against the dex save, but you'll also have a layer action that can create an obscured area.
Yes.
With these smoke bombs.
Yes, I did something productive for once.
Nice.
Anything else?
I think I'll spend.
Yeah,
Yeah,
anything productive?
with carrying everything
Yeah.
and setting up like
Okay.
traps
Mhm.
and digging.
That's also a
I
job.
think.
That's probably your day.
Yeah,
I am very
I
funny.
working through
Yeah,
the
but-
late hours of the night, even probably.
And it's
Yeah.
confusing.
Later at night, when the lights are dim, but there's not necessarily partying going on, but the dwarves are still working, and there's drinking.
I mean, there's work songs and there's
Yep.
it's still.
Okay.
Don't drink
But-
too much though.
Okay,
No
this
fun.
is a very important part. I am finally an adult. I will take my first sip of alcohol.
You're drunk.
You
Give-
just said you were 4.
Yes, I am 4, but technically I'm 9 and I want to have this sip.
It's like,
You need to explain that someday to me.
No, just no, I don't like it. Make me 4 again. That was disgusting.
So he can reduce your age or what?
I got magically aged up, and only with greater restoration it goes away. So I will biologically be 4 again, because biologically I'm 9 right now, but mentally I'm still 4.
Oh,
A cleric can fix that, right?
Yes, and he's cleric. He's gonna fix that for me.
When?
When we have the time and are not in battle. But you know, I wanted to try my first sip because I'm kind of impatient, but that was disgusting.
Yeah, you need to learn to
There's
drink.
many better alcohols.
No, I just stay with my
What is your
apple juice.
favorite?
Only a good dwarvish ale.
So it is a bad dwarvish ale?
It's not the highest of quality what they've brewed up here.
I mean, this is just a traditional. This is just a traditional dwarvish ale. You have very good, high quality dwarvish ale, especially like in the lower levels of Coppermunde. I stole one of them once. It was great.
But Novum, you can find a moment with Andy.
Mhm.
Anyways, back to the work.
Whilst you are, what are you doing during the day?
We are.
I'll be giving inspiration, trying to
Speak
motivate
slowly.
every dwarf I see.
So you're a bard.
Hype man.
No, I'm just gonna sing along with those tunes.
But you're not helping digging at all. You're just
Oh,
there.
I am, but I'm doing poorly.
Okay.
Just like stick a shovel in.
You're there. You're
And I'm
there.
like,
never done this before.
Is your dress dirty or?
What is this X?
oh, I will try and do everything to still look proper.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
if
So you can live
that's
with
what
their
you're doing during the day. You find Angie in the later hours of the night before going to rest. You have a moment with her where you get
I
your.
guess you were pretty tired at this moment, or?
Yeah, well, I'm scrubbing my dress like because it got a little dirty.
You did some work today.
Yeah, I do that. Yeah. I don't like working with my hands that much, but like I fight and stuff. So it's getting my hands dirty. I'm not as strong as the most of. I'm not really useful sometimes, but not as strong, not as
Good
smart.
confidence.
But you're very good at talking.
Great
Am I though? On paper you are.
Well, I noticed you wearing a beautiful dress,
Oh yeah, it's more functional than anything else.
but you also have lots of names.
Yeah, I do. It was not my choice, but yeah, that's. No.
I heard stories about the crown in Genova.
Oh yeah. Yeah, did not go as planned, but
You were successful.
it ended up good. Yeah, no, that's. Yeah, it's not that much. But yeah, it settled, so it's a good thing.
I'm also from Genova.
You are. Which part?
Carleon.
What was your name again?
Noven. August Elderville.
Does it ring a bell?
I don't know. Does it?
No.
Then it doesn't.
Never heard of you.
20 charisma, people. 20 charisma.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, so what bars did you live in?
Then I didn't specify.
A house. A house.
I lived in a house
Great.
next to a meadow, so yeah.
Yeah, and what did you how did you come to be here then?
Well, yeah, that has to do with what I can do.
And what can you do?
I have I check the environment if everyone is around.
Yeah, and you just hear in the distance like, I am the dwarf and the
And I try to ignore that. And I
You hear it
little-
slowly coming closer.
I say a little softer to Angie.
Sure.
I have a kind of power, which my father also has, I guess. And I was trained for it. And my father had an office in Marderon. I came to Marderon someday, and I went there, continuing his work, and I thought of some.
So what was his work then? Fight orcs.
Well, he was in lead of the harbor. He had some important position there. I never thought about what it really was, but he actually did, because I was a bit busy with Riven, my twin brother, and we were mostly, getting pranks and stuff. And I was working with my magic, and at this point I'm talking in myself, and yeah.
Sounds familiar. Yeah, but you talk like about your father as if nothing happened.
Something happened, I don't know what it was.
So is he still alive?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's
what I want to figure out.
and you think that's in Humunda?
That's where I was last seen, so.
Yeah, that's a far.
Yeah, he went there, and I hope we can keep this between us, because of the powers I have, and he also had. He went searching for the origin of it in Homunde, because we don't quite understand where they come from.
And what made those like powers? What can you do?
It's mostly mental. So when I hit someone, it's not just like a physical wound, it's also like a damage to the brain.
Funny enough, when I hit someone with a hammer, I can also do that.
I also do that.
Yeah, but you can only do it if you hit their head. This one
I mean,
can
I'm
do
not
it
that
by
good at
slapping you in the
explaining.
foot.
No.
I'm role-playing that pretty well.
Pretty good.
What I wonder is, do you eventually cast Greater Restoration this evening on Zira, or is she gonna have to wait for that?
That's what you wonder?
I do. I mean,
Yeah.
She's gonna have to wait for that. Because George is also switching out to the staff so that he
You're
can
good.
so that he can do some aid to people before. Can we even take a long rest? Would that even be a thing that we?
yeah,
can
you're
do?
taking a long rest.
Oh, okay, well then I don't have to do that. Well, in that case, I could.
But
I
Yeah,
won't want
if-
to.
only if she's like really like tugging at his
She
beard.
I will.
tugging at his beard.
It's like, we're working, we're preparing. We might die tomorrow.
Yes, and I want to die as a 4-year-old!
Okay, I get it. I'll use this dumb key. He looks at the key. switch the spell. Not switch out Great Restoration.
Okay.
And I don't have the material component.
Sure.
Do you have diamonds?
Sure.
You need diamond dust.
Yeah, sure. I'm gonna get Angie. She's gonna make it into dust for me.
Okay. You can get that for
You have a
me.
jewelry skin, right?
I can
Yeah.
bring you back
You can do that.
to
I can
4
do
years
that.
old.
Oh, are you gonna take my diamond?
No, you're gonna make my diamonds into dust.
No, I can do that.
And I just throw jewelry at you. Use these diamonds.
If you can somehow give up at least 100 gold
I
worth
have.
of diamond.
I have multiple pieces of jewelry that together will be worth 100 gold.
Well, most
Jewelry
dwarves
or
are looking
diamonds?
at Y11.
Jewelry with diamonds in them, which makes
She has
it.
a crown.
Okay, yeah. No,
Yeah, but I'm not gonna use the
Oh.
crown. The crown is when I die.
Okay. For the sake of brevity,
Yeah.
with a little bit of help, you can grind down 100 gold's worth of diamond dust relatively easily, giving you the material components to do so. And at that point, you can choose to cast the spell if you wish.
The dwarves are digging at Y11.
Hmm?
The dwarves are digging at Y11.
Yes.
And she might be very hurt, because the jewelry I threw at her was the one she made for me.
Yikes.
Oh no.
You can always put new ones in, but I want to be 4 again.
I don't know. Bree would have a. I still believe she would still have a diamond ring. She would still have a ring somewhere.
Does she have a diamond? I don't know.
I don't know. It was a diamond.
I still have a diamond.
It wasn't expensive.
I still have a diamond.
Well, she had a wedding ring once from
It's
Yeah.
Angie.
true, but
which
That's
had
also
a
worth
diamond.
a lot of money.
I don't think you used the diamonds for that one.
No, I don't. I'm
Yeah,
not-
I think you
he
did
used
an
a small
opal.
diamond.
Yeah, no,
Used a
you,
diamond?
I think
Yes.
you used an opal indeed.
I think you used an opal.
Yeah, you
I think
didn't
so.
use a diamond.
But you have a
Yeah.
100 gold
Yeah,
worth,
Oh
so...
wait, I opened once another box like with a ring with a diamond in it.
But it doesn't
Mm.
matter.
Yeah, that,
We-
I
She's
did
made
it, but it
specifically
was really low level,
diamonds,
so level
earrings
5 or
and a necklace
Yeah.
for me to match with my
Because
tiara.
I activated
Yeah,
the trap.
Because that has diamonds.
That's
So
why
I
I
will put
remember.
new diamonds in my jewelry, but I want it to be young right now.
For now, I can also place them with pieces of coral, but
A coral?
Sure, it's a temporary replacement.
Okay,
so I'll switch out the diamonds for the coral and then.
sure.
Grind to the
Grind it to dust, and then I'm gonna to George. George, do your thing.
And I declare
Someday.
you a miner again.
Zira shrinks by about half an inch.
Hey,
Nothing much else happens. You go from 9 to 4. There wasn't that much difference.
Woo!
Yeah, but now you can drink.
Now I can't drink anymore, so I have an excuse not to drink that disgusting stuff anymore.
When you do find yourselves all together, which is probably
Get
at this
back,
moment,
Shirley.
like you guys found each other, then you found Angie, then you guys got together, you drank the drink, you cast the spell. A familiar elven individual followed by a dark purple skinned with white markings individual comes walking up as Nesrin and Xanthe have made their way into the dwarven area of Illinois.
Nesrin,
Also,
I am
I
so
come in with a
sorry.
shovel completely.
I hope I didn't.
He goes,
I got you in trouble.
I've mentioned you before you arrived. You were invited to court, so luckily your behavior, however brief it was, had not damaged my reputation.
Okay, good.
Kieran finds himself comfortable in my
That's good.
my tower and will remain so. It is the safest place. However, if we are overrun, I'm afraid there is not much I can do.
At that point, I'll be dead.
We've heard of the initiative you guys have been taking here, and I think it's commendable. I also think that I'd prefer my tower intact rather than destroyed. Xanthe and I will be on your side in this battle. We'll be helping out here and there throughout the battle, helping you at some moments, but leaving to help others wherever the need arises. Xanthe has become quite proficient at magic and at the blade.
Really, what kind of magic is he doing?
It turns to Xanthe. Xanthe goes, I learned spells of... I found an affinity with weaponry easier, but combining them with magic, magic I find somewhat innately, others I learn. have magic in the form of lightning, in the form of simple
not a
teleportation.
wizard.
And I have a book I learn.
Okay, so
There's,
you're a
however, some
wizard.
spells that I can, low magic, that I can do myself.
Okay.
And glimpses of memories that come back from a life I do not remember, where I have
yeah.
been studious in the past.
I cannot wait until this is all over and we're gonna have some tea and I'll tell you all about something very cool.
You should. At this point, by the way, you've never, like before, he was also speaking common. He's speaking common at this point as well, so everybody can understand. He's not talking in Mercedian at this point. And you also notice, different from before, he is wearing a small gemstone in his forehead, which you hadn't seen before. For those who cast spells, most likely some form of spellcasting focus.
Cool. Okay.
Zante goes, if we survive this
I
at
know,
least.
obviously.
And afterwards, I'd love to learn about your travels and where you've been, that place you talked about.
Yes.
Let's kill some orcs first.
In the walls.
That is what I heard.
Tell them.
Makes
I'm
something
completely,
else, you know.
I'm completely
He is
covered in
one of
dirt.
them.
Yep, just
I'm
dirt
just
all over.
go up to Angie, like slap her on her back.
The handprint.
Like,
But
I'm gonna tell him about it. He deserves
Nestle-
it.
be like, good work
I
out
also
there.
told the Sphinxes about him, so you know, it's kind of fair. The other
You
way
could
around.
use a bath, I guess.
No, I'm good.
Nestrin and Zante.
Orcs are dead.
Nestor and Zante mix themselves with your group as well as the other dwarvish individuals. There isn't, I would say, a party, but there's high morale. You guys have created quite a bit of morale in the city or in the shanty town, and there's like they're all being like, fuck it, we're gonna die tomorrow. So like all the booze that they have is gonna go through tonight. All the food's coming out.
And all
May
the
not-
apple juice.
Better not be wasted. You know, they'll move through. They are, however, responsible that they only get very drunk and they don't pass out yet, which will mean that they will be in top shape tomorrow morning.
Yes.
I will
Exactly.
not be drunk.
This is an environment that especially George and Lucy probably have missed in the past year and a half since you haven't been home long term. There was that moment when Bree's resurrection where you had it, but it's a mood that is only found in Copper Wood.
So
I
we're
will
going
go
to bed
tonight.
early
Yeah,
because I
here
am
we
a
are.
minor again.
I put like a big, like a liter, like a big ass tankard in front of Angie. We're gonna drink. And we're gonna kill
They don't
them.
have places to sleep for you per se tonight. You can choose to either stay in the Roaring Boar, or there's the Temple of Morden is, aside from being converted into a place that could be defended, is also places where people can sleep for the night.
George stays there.
Okay.
I mean, I'm going to go to bed, so good night.
Aside from going to bed, is there anything anybody wishes to do before going to bed? Because that, when all of you go to bed, we'll end the session, so it's up to you.
Yeah. I want
You
to
wanna do
state
something?
specifically when Novan starts to drink, he loosens up a bit and he notices jokes sooner than before. And you see, like, okay, he can relax. So mostly he's pretty uptight, but right now he's a bit okay-ish.
Yeah, Chera and Angie are just like chugging.
Yeah, you can't keep up with Chera though, but you try.
I can't.
Actually, with your constitution, you probably can.
Yeah.
Angie's surprisingly,
We
you
have
haven't
the
seen
same
it.
constitution, but I'm like.
I mean, she burns it.
They also
depends.
have
True.
Oh, nice.
really fast.
I do now.
You burn it really fast, right? Because you have fire damage.
That's a funny thing. I also do like some jokes like setting on our alcohol.
It's like a bunch of shots, and you do a
Yeah.
firebolt, and all the shots go on.
I like that.
Shut.
I mean, it isn't a
I also
party
fuck a
yet.
bit with people, so like with my with the Psy Crystal, what I can do.
That works.
We're keeping the morale high.
Yeah, keeping
Like,
morale
haha,
is
in your
kept high.
head.
But there is also some guards that will stay awake throughout the night in case anything happens. But around what would be 1 or 2 in the morning, the last of the defenses are set up, and the rudimentary gate that is, it's the weakest part of the palisade, because the palisade has the palisade, then spikes, and trench, then hill, then trench, then hill, then trench, then holes everywhere. The gate is even though for how quickly they set it up, there's a bunch of trees missing, by the way, around Illinois. But the gate has already been like reinforced with like steel and stuff. The dwarves, if they have to, work pretty fast.
I mean, they built this town in 1 year.
They built the town in 1 year. Yeah,
That's
and
really impressive.
They built a rudimentary wall in a night.
Yeah.
I am
With the help of you guys, so.
asleep at the time they're done.
Um,
Because I am a child.
Yeah, but is there anything else anybody wishes to do?
Go to bed.
Go to sleep.
George?
I'll do things in the morning, but no, not tonight.
George is not really, he's just looking over at the party, but he's not drinking or partying with him. Because he's
I'll try to get George
more
a drink,
worried than anything else at the moment.
I'll try to get
the
him.
temple at some point.
I'll try to get him a drink, but he doesn't drink it.
It's
A
just
little
like,
bit, but not like enough to even get a dwarf a little tipsy.
Yeah. Eventually, you'll find yourselves to bed in various places, preparing to be awoken tomorrow, and rush into the midst of battle once again. There, however, is where we're going to be ending the session, and we'll pick it up again next week. So, with that, thank you all for coming out to play. Thank you all for coming out to watch. When you did it on YouTube, I guess no longer on stream. We will see you in the next one. Goodbye.
In the balls.